What is going on, everybody? Welcome to Monday Nights on STPN. We got the New Jersey Devils and the Edmonton Oilers, and there is a trade to announce, and it involves the Edmonton Oilers. This is a good way to start the show. I've never heard either of these people, though. Ronnie Attard. The Oilers have acquired Ronnie Attard from the Philadelphia Flyers in exchange for defenseman Ben Gleason. Now, Ronnie is a Philadelphia Flyer player. He was, I'm just looking up his stats right now, drafted in the third round, 72 overall. In the 2019 draft, he's been playing with the Lehigh Valley Phantoms for most of the last 2 years, although he did get 12 games with the Flyers last year. Ben Gleason. Let's find out about Ben Gleason. He's been in the Star system. He's been in the Oilers system, as we know. Played a lot of time with the Texas Stars and has played 4 total NHL games. Listen, if ever there was a letdown of a trade on game night, this would be the one. This is guy for guy. But you know what? I guess we just have to take it, don't we? Hey, it's nice to see you, by the way. I look forward to Mondays every week now. Gripper Nation, what's going on? We got the poll up right now. Who do you got winning, Oilers or Devils? It's going to be a good one. It's going to be a good game tonight. This is a fast-moving, exciting hockey kind of thing. And by the way, if you're an Oilers fan and you've never watched a game on Amazon yet, well, welcome. You are finally going to get the chance. Because they have been they've done 2 Toronto games, 1 Montreal game, and 1 Winnipeg game, and I got to tell you, they're doing a pretty darn good job. So I'm enjoying this, and I'm looking forward to that. Look, oh, by the way, for people that want to know, I got the stash, and I got the stash because we're doing Movember. And we're doing Movember because it's the right thing to do. It's men's mental health. It's men's physical health. That's what November is for. So you get this dirty mustache every Monday in November. I hope you're ready for that. What's up, Cassie? Kicking us off with a little super chat. What's up, Adam? I'm half asleep right now. Cassie, you been working hard? What's been going on? Hey, we got Mega Chronic as well. What's up, chat? What's up, Mega Chronics? Chronics. Sorry. There's a Mega. You can't just have Chronics. You need to have Mega Chronics. Okay. It's got to be the full Chronics. It's going to be really exciting. I love watching, by the way, that Monday Night Hockey's got their got the Edmonton Oilers logos in the background. There are people on the screen. I think there's some Oilers fans who are pretty excited to be on TV right now in the background. Oh, Cassie dropping 50 gifted memberships. Cassie, my God, Cassie, that's crazy. That's crazy that you're doing that. Koyoya says, hey, why do I get the feeling that Adam's daughter makes fun of his stash? She's too young to really have noticed it yet. Like, you know how kids at like 5 years old, they don't notice something that they should notice, and then one day it's all they can talk about? I'm waiting for the day where she's like, hey, so like what's going on there? But she's not there yet. Hasn't said anything yet. By the way, my foot is caught on a cord, so I'm just gonna bend over. Get this. There we go. I got a Movember page, by the way. I'll drop it in the chat so you guys can donate if you got a little extra dough for Movember. And listen, let me tell you something. It's a great cause, as we know. And I'm thinking, I did this before like 10 years ago, where I did the handlebar mustache, and it worked out really, really well. The only reason I'm not doing it this year is my wife has been begging me to try out a like an actual mustache, like what I'm doing. And to be honest, I've been a little bit reticent to do it, but if I'm going to do it, I'm going to do it now. And by the way, everybody's thanking Cassie in the chat right now for those 50 gifted subs. It's going to be a good old time. Good old time tonight. Need Leon or Arvidsson to score for the old fantasy team today. Wish me luck, boys. Well, Slash, I think you're probably in luck. Arvidsson's sort of woken up. And I feel like, you know, Leon's Leon, and he needs to be Leon because he's Leon. You know what I'm saying? Like, there's no Connor McDavid tonight. It's a bummer we're not getting Connor McDavid in this game, but we don't have him yet. So here we go. And okay, so I'm just getting notifications at the wazoo. Look at all the people getting the gifted subs. Look at you, lucky duckies. Jack needs to score as well. Jack Hughes from my fantasy team needs to score. You know what? I'll go through it. I'll tell you who on my fantasy team. It would be really nice if they scored tonight. Are you ready? By the way, my one fantasy team is called Bring It Holmberg, you know, and then my other one's called Reach for the Stallers. Kevin Fiala, by the way, is on my fantasy team, and I did not like the fact that he got suspended for a game by his own team for missing a meeting. Come on, Kevin. Don't do that to us. So, yeah, here's what I need tonight. I got Jesper Bratt, and I need Jack Hughes. If either of those two guys score tonight, we're having a good night. And then that's for my Bring It Holmberg team. Reach for the Stallers. And for that, same guys, except it's Bratt, Fiala, and Timo Meyer. Those are the only guys on my team playing tonight. It's a quiet night. Please stream tomorrow's Leaf game to erase Steve's bad energy. You know what? I would love to. I want to do more Leaf games. I want to do more of these streams. I'm really enjoying them. I think it's just this one's a little late for old dad here. 8:30 start. What are we doing? I know it's an Oiler game in Edmonton, so it's probably early for them. James Scaresbrook, Brad Summer. Hey Adam, how's fantasy football going? Well, I'll tell you. I thought I had a pretty good team, and I was going to get to, your usual 100 points. And then Justin Fisher, who is the last place team in our entire division, somehow scored 161 points. And for people that don't play fantasy football, let me explain it to you like this. If you have a team that gets 100 to 110 points every week, you got a chance to win. You're not going to win every game, but you got a chance. Justin I got 160. It's the highest points total anybody has scored in the league this year. And for whatever reason, against me, he decided that this is what's going to happen. This is how it's going to happen. And all of his guys just went off, and I got wrecked. So I'm relying on Travis Kelce and Baker Mayfield tonight, who are playing each other. And Travis Kelce, who's had a not great year, but is having a good start tonight anyway. I'm relying on him. And by the way, Justin Fisher says the MoSpace link has been added to the stream's description, and we've shared it in the chat as well, in case you're interested in Movembering for me, mustache guy. So that's what it is. I lost this week where I scored 152 to someone who scored 176. Whoa, baby, that's crazy. My F1 fantasy took a beating this weekend, so I'm glad I only do it for that. NHL fantasy is too much to keep on touch on. Here's what I like about NHL fantasy, especially the rotisserie league, is the fact that it's like an everyday thing, because I kind of enjoy it, and I just I'll switch the players up, and I'm watching waiver wire, and it gives me 5 minutes of pleasure when I wake up in the morning, instead of going immediately to social media to dread everything, or going into my emails to try to answer a whole bunch of questions. It's just so much better to get on my fantasy football or my fantasy hockey and go, all right, I'm a general manager now. Here's what I will do. Cassie said, hey, I need food recommendations in my DMs from all STPN members for my trip to Toronto, please. No fish, though. Very excited for the trip. Well, Cassie, listen, unless you plan on eating fish out of Lake Ontario, and I don't recommend it, all of our fish is flown in, so you don't even worry about it. I think you come to Toronto, there's a great food scene. Puck and Stoner Dads, have you broke the trade yet? Yeah, it's cool, man. It's a cool trade. Gleason for Ronnie Attard. Now, I don't know that a lot of people have heard of either of these people, but listen, I can't pretend that I know a heck of a lot about Ben Gleason or Ronnie Attard, but the Oilers do need defensemen, and maybe Ronnie Attard is the guy that they want. 3rd round pick from 5 years ago. So he's 23, still young, lots to do. We'll see what happens. Yeah. I that's all I can really say. I haven't heard much about it. I haven't had the chance to read much about it, but I'm happy for both sides. I don't know. What do you want me to say about this trade? I don't know, guys. What do you think? I am currently eating a salmon from Lake Ontario from Charlie Borges Jr. I guess that I didn't know we had salmon in Lake Ontario. Did not know that. Shadow Songs, has the game started? No, because games never start on time. They always start. We're already 12 minutes into this stream, and the game has not started. It's just the NHL way. They want you to start, tune in, and then wait for puck drop. But I think we're going to get puck drop next. And here's what I love about Amazon Prime. They don't run the national anthem, which is too boring. And I like that. Anyway, I'm just having a look here if there's any breakdowns of Ronnie Attard and Ben Gleason. I'm not seeing it. I'm not really seeing it. Not really seeing it. But, listen, if you want to give me yours in the chat, that's cool. Who won this trade? Come on, stop, or for who? Who won this trade? I'm going to say come on, stop on that. By the way, shout out to everybody who gave Cassie some great recommendations. There's plenty of great places to eat in Toronto. Really, really good. So if you can keep them coming, Cassie's got a little super chat there in the green. I'm sure she'd love to know. Jesse Blake says, can this game start already? Yeah, it would be awesome because some of us would like to go to bed sometime this year. Listen, I'm a dad. Sleep is never far from my thoughts. Mega Chronics, Prime sucks. Have you watched a game on Prime yet? It does not suck. It's actually really good. 260 watching and only 68 likes. Kyle, I agree. We need to get more. We need to get more of this. Give me some likes, guys. Give me some of that. Chantel Zeller, Adam, should I send Breaking the Ice #2 in sports humor or give it to Steve at his book signing in Dartmouth? You did a bit on the live show. I sent you a post on Instagram. Oh, well, Chantel, I missed that. You should absolutely bring sports humor #1 seller, Breaking the Ice, which is an ice love story. Hang on, I'm going to look up the book description. Breaking the Ice book. No, that's not the wrong one. So Breaking the Ice, there is a Mena Rayom book, but that is not the one we're looking for. Hold on. Here it is. Breaking the Ice. Visit. Okay, here we go. Figure skating is Caitlin's passion, but she lands on thin ice after a meltdown in this funny, touching story. Because when you fall down, you have to pick yourself back up, even if it's in front of judges and a crowd. Apparently, it's doing really well. I would love to know. Where is it? I don't know how Jesse looks up where things are like best sold, the bestseller look. By the way, this book is for children, so it's for teenagers between the ages of 9 and 13. I do want you to know that. I think that's the one. Was that the one? I felt like there was one that was about like a love story. Am I wrong? No, it's not Icebreakers. This is from our live show in St. Catharines where we were laughing at Steve because he was second in hockey humor on Amazon. Oh, by the way, Sarah Marlowe. Hey, Sarah, thank you so much for gifting 10 more memberships. We really appreciate that. And my Siri is saying hello. Sarah, do you get that a lot? When people say your name, does your Siri kick off? Cassie said, hey, said it's Saturday, but the Leafs power play is almost copy and paste of what the Pens power play was last year. Like you want to see them side by side just to give up the shorthanded goals. Man, the Leafs power play is bad. Maybe we can watch a good power play tonight with the New Jersey Devils and the Edmonton Oilers. Monday night, guys. It's chill. It's Gripper Nation. Let us all come together. And we got puck drop here. Like I said, they skipped the national anthem. Why? Because it's bad television. That's why. We've all heard the anthems before. Hey, they just mentioned Vasily Podkolzin on the broadcast. I didn't know. I was unfamiliar with his punch game. That guy hits to kill. That's a big fight that he was in last week. That was unbelievable. Adam, how do you see Sportsnet Plus? Did you see Sportsnet Plus announce the price increase today that will take effect on the same day the WWE is leaving TV for Netflix? I didn't see that. Yeah, I don't know what to say there other than that really sucks. And we continue to pay more for what is essentially the same thing, and I'm trying to figure out why. Girthy Bettman, for my USA peeps, don't forget to vote tomorrow. I'll sign an executive order to make sure Canada gets another cup. #Rippers. Hey, yeah, whatever it is, you get out and you vote tomorrow. And by the way, 18:56 left in the first period. That's how we sync up, everybody. Feet up and relax. Gripper Nation is about to take you on a journey. 1849, 1848, 1847, 1846, 1845. What am I saying? It's not the year, it's the time left on the first period. Hold on, the Sportsnet price went up 25%? No way. I don't believe that. It went from 19.99 to 24.99. Did Sportsnet Plus go up, Hayden? Okay, but like their super duper package? Okay. Oh my god. Um Cassie, do you want the semi gripper joke from Saturday? I don't know if I know what that is. Sure. SLS, what are three things you would change about the Sportsnet broadcasts? Number one, easy one. I would take the national anthem out of it. Number two, I would have a dedicated, and I'm a Leafs fan. See, here's the thing in Edmonton, if you're an Oiler fan and you're watching this, you guys have Gene Principe and Mark Spector and those guys that do every local Oilers game. We don't have that in Toronto. They're just national games. We have TSN doing it, but Sportsnet doesn't do it. So I'd have a local Toronto uh, group of guys and gals, preferably one that actually liked the Leafs. It's an old trope, but it sure does feel a little bit like it's a little bare when it comes to coverage that's friendly to the Leafs. I'm being here we go, Adam Henrique. I know. I'm an Easterner saying that. All the West Coasters in the chat are like, tell me more about how bad that bias is. And then I think the third thing is I think Sportsnet does not have fun in their broadcast the way that they should. I think they have the people there to have fun. Kipper's a fun guy. Bourne's a fun guy. Elliott can be a really fun guy. I've seen all those. BX is funny. Like there's lots of funny people there who are a lot of fun, but I don't know the way the show's set up that necessarily brings it out. And that's not on the talent. That's on how you set up a show. I think sometimes we need to realize that this is an entertainment product first and foremost, and it's not the Bible, and it doesn't need to be biblically serious. It can be fun. Like do serious breakdowns, and hey, I like this, and I didn't like that, and whatever. But like, can we just celebrate the fact that we're watching hockey and it's Saturday night? It's Saturday night, and we're watching hockey. So that's just Hockey Night in Canada. But I would do the same thing with Wednesday night too. Can you play a game, have some fun, laugh a little, talk to each other? I don't know. That's just how I feel. Sedin Magic 15. Happy Monday, Adam. Who's scoring first in this one? I would say, I'm gonna go silly with this one. I'm gonna say, let me look up the Devils lineup. Let's go crazy. Let's not. Yeah, I was gonna say Siegenthaler. Okay, let's go Siegenthaler because Hayden just said Siegenthaler in my ear, and I just wanted to make sure he was still playing because people get injured. And for the Oilers, I'm gonna say something stupid. Let's go like who's least likely to score? We need a first time goal tonight. It's like a Monday night. Let's go Derek Ryan. Derek Ryan's gonna have a big one tonight. Already 3 shots for the Oilers. 16-16 left in the first period. This should be a high-scoring game, by the way. I see Jesse Blake in the chat. I don't know. I'm sure this is a game he would bet the over on. By the way, Jesse made a bet on the presidential election, and I won't tell you who for. I won't tell you who for because it's his news to tell. But I respect him for that. Ridiculous Nico writing this 20 feet up a bouldering wall, making sure the grippers are extra strong for Adam's stream. A boulder? What's a bouldering? Are you like a rock climber in your spare time, or do you have to be up the bouldering wall? I need to know more, Ridiculous Nico, because it sounds like a ridiculous situation. Ty Smith, Adam, where are your Devil's pajamas? Well, I'll tell you, the Devil's pajamas. I don't know. I think they're packed away somewhere in one of my boxes, and I can't find them because I was looking for them before the show tonight. I don't know where they are. Might have to add more. Here we go. Oilers with the shot. Oh baby, what a save! Jake Allen, baby. Jake mother effing Allen. He's been great. Nice save. Wait, didn't Adam have a Devils jersey? I do. I have a Palat jersey, and I still don't know where that is. I don't know where it is. Justin Fisher texted me. It's a Monday and Saturday tradition here on STPN. Adam, want to play a game? Oh, we got a goal? No. Hold on. What? All right, let's have a look at this. Stefan Nason. All right. So New Jersey gets, this is the Oilers season in a oh my God, it's Calvin Pickard. Former Leaf. Stefan Nason. Oh, yeah. So Cotter catches that's a really good pass from Cotter over to Nason, and I'll be honest with you, Stuart Skinner does not have great body position on that shot. Like, he's down, but like, why is he away from the post? Pickard, I mean. Why is Pickard away from the post on that one? That's not that's not wow. Yeah. Hey, Stefan Nason, former Leaf. Didn't play here, but we let him go. I don't know why. What were we talking about? Well, I was about to read you Justin's text message, and it has to be about who scores the first goal. Turns out it was Stefan Nason. So what do I know? I will still say that Derek Ryan's going to get a big goal for the Oilers tonight. Derek Ryan. No nonsense, Nason. I just hope the former Leafs win. Sarah, I'm with you. Go former Leafs. By the way, Stefan Nason, great guy to pick up in fantasy if you haven't. If he's available in your league, he's probably on waivers in most leagues. That guy is on a bit of a tear. Another guy I would suggest, and I picked him up too, Dylan Strome, Washington Capitals, having a low-key really good year, and Connor McMichael. I don't know if it's going to last, but damn, that dude's scoring the lights out right now. Get yourself some points. Oh, Justin says it's anytime goals. We're still playing, so here we go. We're at the commercial break anyway. Adam, want to play a game? Pick a player from tonight from both teams. If either score tonight, I'll drop gift subs and a Movember donation. do. Feet, baby. That's what he texted us. Gripper Nation. I need to know what you think. Anytime scores, I went with Siegenthaler because Hayden and I are trying to be difficult, and I went with Derek Ryan. It's going to be tough. It's going to be tough. Pickard did that because he knows I have Nason in fantasy. Such a good guy, that Calvin Pickard. True that. Yeah, that must be it. That must be it. I don't know what it is in here, but every time I get in here, my nose gets stuffy. SLS says, another thing with Sportsnet, not the biggest fan of their analysts. TSNs have way more chemistry and have way more fun. See, SLS, here's what I would say to that. I think that Sportsnet has perfectly fine analysts, but what TSN will do in the intermission is they'll play a game. They do what does James Duthie always do? It's the quiz, right? And he's been doing the same game for 20 effing years. And it's not rocket science. Here's the quiz. Here's a bunch of questions. And then everybody has their answers. And they're kind of fun, and they take some pot shots at each other. Whereas I don't see Sportsnet doing that as much, and I don't know why. It's probably a production choice. I think they have the ability to do it. I just don't think they're as warm. And I think people like a warm, fun broadcast. It's hockey, man. Saturday night. It's cold in this country. It's dark now. Look how dark it was early tonight, right? Like, we need a little bit of fun. Amazon's having a good time too. What Amazon's doing great, and if you're an Oiler fan, you might be seeing this for the first time. What I think Amazon has done really well is they kept it simple. They're not trying to explode with crazy graphics and, oh, this is state-of-the-art technology. They're like, no, we're going to hire some really good people, and they're going to talk, and our studio is wherever the game is in the crowd. Or we're in the concourse of the thing. Simple. It's easy. And it's cheap. That's how you got to do it. Stefan Nason is a point-per-game player. Jack Hughes is not. Hockey is weird. Charlie, you're so right, and I need Jack Hughes to be well above a point-a-game player because one of my fantasy teams is killing it. One of them is very mid, and he's on both of them. and he was like my second pick. It's interesting. In both drafts, I drafted 8th overall, and both drafts I missed out on Leon Draisaitl, who went at like 7 or 6. So I ended up in both drafts with Cale Makar, which in retrospect it couldn't have worked out better for me. It could not have worked out better for me. Kayuya, a big day for you tomorrow, Adam. It's NFL trade deadline. Do you want the Steelers? Who do you want the Steelers to pick up? Almost had Kirk until he broke his collarbone. I would love them to see, like, to me, they need a veteran wide receiver, and Cooper Kupp makes a lot of sense. And I know he's been mentioned in trade stuff. So I'd like to see a couple of veteran wide receivers, guys who are like not afraid to throw a few blocks too, the way Hines Ward used to. And let's see if Russell Wilson's got any juice left in the tank. He's looked not bad. Mike Tomlin's a genius, by the way. We need some Sabaton for Adam's History Corner. Well, we can't play any live music on this stream. Jesse's here, and if he caught us doing it, we would be in big trouble. And you don't make Jesse mad, right? We also don't want to make YouTube mad, because it would make them mad. This game, I have to be honest, been a little dry. Had a couple shots. It's not much going yet. And that's okay. Sometimes it takes a while. But I was expecting more fireworks. This is New Jersey. This is Edmonton. This is steroids. This is offensive steroids. Give me goals. Give me many goals. Edmonton ranks 4th in shots for. New Jersey ranked 1st in shots for. New Jersey ranks what? Whoa. 3rd. All right, now let me run you through some of Hayden's stats here. This is why I think you need to be betting the over. Eventually, this game's going to break out. New Jersey, by the way, has outscored Edmonton 10-4. Last season outscored them 10-4. Won the season series 2-0. The Oilers are 6-3-1 in their last 10. The Devils are kind of leafish. They're struggling. 4-4-2 in their last 10. Edmonton ranks 5th in expected goals per 60 at 2.97. New Jersey ranks 6th at 2.69. And if you're a Leaf fan, you know how this is. You know. Oh, baby. I thought that, oh, my God, the Oilers got 3 clean looks at it. Didn't put it in. Oh, baby. Anyway, if you're a Leaf fan, you know that expected goals just don't matter, especially on a Sheldon Keefe coached team. A little bit of pushing around after the whistle. Love to see the Stars get into it. Love to see an Ekholm, a Draisaitl. These guys are not afraid. They're not afraid. I would love to see a little more of the Leafs doing that, and I've been seeing it. I don't know if you guys have been paying attention, but Mitch Marner got into a shoving match last night against the Minnesota Wylde, Hayden's favorite team. And I was really impressed. Have not seen that from this man. Was not familiar with that part of his game. Cassie says, trying this joke again, do your socks have holes in them? No. Why do you ask? It's a John Day on the super chat. We'll be going to my first NHL game in a few weeks. Blues at Jets. Should be a good one. Question. Could Atlantic Canada support an NHL team? No. Not in its current economic state. Atlantic Canada does not have enough corporate sponsorship dollars. There's just not enough money out there. And it doesn't matter how many arenas you sell out. Look at the Winnipeg Jets. They are still, the asset value is there, but they are still losing money year over year, which means owners have to make equalization payments, and owners don't like to pay money. So, Atlantic Canada, it's not going to happen. You need to have the population kind of like double there. You need to have Halifax at 900,000 people before you seriously have that conversation. If Halifax ever gets there, and they could in our lifetime, the way it's growing, sure. But again, it comes down to corporate sponsorship dollars too. How many head offices are out there? If you're can you get the Irving family, the oil family to, they are, right? If you're from the East Coast, you know who those guys are. Can you get them to sponsor the arena? Can you get them to invest in the team? You know what I mean? Jesse says Atlantic Canada needs a CFL team. Man, I was out there when they did a CFL game, and everybody went. I didn't go. I had to work, but everybody else went. They love showing up to their things. I think Halifax could maybe manage a PWHL or an AHL team. AHL could work. PWHL is interesting, but the problem becomes flights. Flights to Halifax are extraordinarily expensive because Canada has ridiculous, weird laws when it comes to flying within Canada, and only Canadian carriers can carry you from Canada City to Canada City. Why? I don't know. But that makes the cost insane. And it shouldn't cost $1,000 to fly from Toronto to Nova Scotia, but it does. And so that, when you multiply it by 40 or 50 members of the team, staff, equipment, all that stuff that have to go there for a league like the PWHL, is that a cost you need right now when you could be focused on major markets like New York? Well, you need to get New York an actual arena in New York, but could you put a team in Chicago? Can you put a team? Man, think about all the places. Even like down south in Florida, like there's so many other cities you would go to before you go to Halifax. And I love Halifax. It's not big enough yet. Oh, there's a super chat from Cassie. Do you have holes in your socks? Then how do you put feet in them? Ha! So my socks do have holes. Just one each, though. One each. Chantel Zeller, I would rather a hockey team out east than a football team. True, but CFL is smaller business, and that can work for you, right? Look at the QMJHL. The Mooseheads are gods out there. 10 years ago, the Leafs top line was JVR, Kadri, Bad Boys. That's right. I remember that line. Those were dark days, guys. Those were dark days. But at least they were finally trying to be bad. Austin Matthews was on the horizon. Nova Scotia was talking about a CFL team a couple years ago. Yeah, again, who's going to make the investment? You got to get money in. And that becomes the problem. It's just so bloody expensive. Everything's so expensive right now. I think you need flight prices to come down, and in Canada they never will until they open that up. And yeah, it's a bummer. I'm from Regina, and the Pats are still struggling from the Bedard premium ticket prices. Oh, I bet. Yeah. Are they still charging the same prices post Bedard? Because you can't do that. That would be tough. That would be tough. And junior hockey's tough, right? Because you have 2 or 3 years where you're so good, and then you have a year or two where you're the worst team, unwatchable. That's just the way it goes. That's the cycle. And it's quick. But man, when they're good, they're so good. We got a penalty here. I think there's a holding the stick or an interference. Might be Corey Perry. This guy from Canada. Remember when the CFL had U.S. teams for 18 seconds? Yeah. There was a team in Baltimore which won the Grey Cup twice in a row and then folded. And then where was the other CFL team in the States? They did try it. I respect the hustle. Chase Hines, hey Adam, I mentioned the anthems not being played on Prime last week and would like your take on them not showing them on Dia de los Muertos Spanish anthem tonight. Would be better TV than commercials. Chase, I don't have a take. I just love the Dia de los Muertos Spanish anthem. I would love to see that. By the way, I got to be honest with you. Jake Allen has my full respect. Just as a hockey fan, every time the Leafs play him, he crushes them. He's really good at, if you can't get people in front of his face, and like Connor Brown's shot here, right? Look at him. There's a shot, but it just doesn't go anywhere, right? Jake Allen's gonna always have that, and it's because Jake Allen is always lined up perfectly with the puck. I know Montreal traded him last year because they were like, well, we can get a good package for him. But man, sure feels like they could use him, doesn't it? The Baltimore team are now the Alouettes. Oh, okay. Did Avon Barksdale own the team and then go to jail? James, I don't know. Adam, did you see Athletics? The the Athletics Four Nations rosters, I think they are disrespecting Logan Thompson, a Canadian who has been great for the Capitals. Well, if you look at Logan Thompson's stat line, because I looked at it the other day and I want to know if it's been updated. It clearly has. I think that an 8.94 save percentage and a almost 3 goals against average, despite the fact that he's won 5 games, all the games that he's played, is going to give them pause. Now, do you need your goalie to be the greatest goalie in the history of the world if you're team candidate? No. But it does help if they are going to be a goalie that plays well within a defensive system. I would say Logan Thompson does. Vegas were like a fantastic defensive team. So I feel like he could play very, very well. To me, it's starting to smell like Marc-Andre Fleury. I think Logan Thompson would be in there. Jesse mentioned Aiden Hill. Oh, we almost got a goal here, and the Oilers clear it. I don't know how that stayed out, but Nuge cleared it. Good for him. Oilers coming back the other way. Here we go. Zach Hyman. Oh, and he misses the net, man. Zach Hyman has been absolutely snake bitten this year. Zach Hyman, 50 goal scorer last year, 2 so far in 12 games this year. To be fair, though, Austin Matthews is struggling too. We know the struggle. He'll score more goals. By the way, Zach Hyman, more career goals than assists now. How about that? It's pretty wild. I didn't see the rest of the Team Canada roster projections yet. Remember that these are going to be pretty accurate at this point. Like, they have to announce this in early December. So the Athletic has a pretty great knowledge base with all their reporters. Like, you think about like LeBrun and Myrtle and Chris Johnson. And Julian's there. Like, they have so many great reporters there that whatever they put up, I'm going to be like, yeah, it's probably close. Probably close. That Athletic hockey staff knows everybody in the league. So whatever they put up, I'm going with. Hyman has more goals than Pettersson. Yeah, dude, what's the deal with Pettersson? I know Oilers fans, you're loving it. But what is going on there? Like, I thought this year was going to be a huge year because they rebuilt the second line for him. Nils Amon was playing on his wing last year. And no disrespect to Nils Amon, but I believe he's on waivers like today. And he's a player that teams would be interested in, but he should not be playing second line minutes against the Edmonton Oilers with Elias Pettersson in the spring. It just shouldn't happen in the second round. Here we go. Henrique. Oh, what a save by Jake Allen. Nice little setup there, too. This game is starting to open up. We're starting to get a little spicy towards the end of this period. It's taken a while. It's a Monday night. Takes everybody a little bit of time to wake up, but we got it. We're there. Nice shot by Timo Meier, too. Hyman got the game winner yesterday. Good for Hyman. He needed it. Maybe Canada should just put a cardboard cutout of Cujo in net. Prime Cujo, like Oilers Cujo. And Leafs Cujo. That was prime Cujo. Greetings from Dominic Garcia. Greetings from Houston, Texas. It was 85 degrees Fahrenheit today. What's the weather like in Toronto? So 85 Fahrenheit's hot, but it's not that hot, is it? 85 Fahrenheit to Celsius is 29. Oh, it's pretty hot. Okay. Yeah, here in Toronto, it was Toronto weather. I'll tell you what it is right now. 14. So we're about half of where you're at. And we just lost all the leaves on the trees. Do you even lose all the leaves on the trees in Houston? Like in Texas, like if you're watching this from the southern climate, do the leaves fall off altogether, or do they just old ones die and then they grow new ones immediately? Because that would be weird for me. Like, I've never lived in a world where 6 months of the year the trees are just barren and scary looking at night. What do you think? Jack Maloney. PD has been better lately, but the goals haven't caught up yet. Well, hopefully. That's all I got to say. Hopefully. Maybe. Need him to start scoring like yesterday. Bigfoot. There are no trees in Houston. James Scarsbrook, does Australia count as a southern climate? Sure. It just depends on which part of Australia. January and February is when the leaves fall in Florida. Oh, so they do fall. Cassie says, got to toss some Penn stuff out there. Thoughts on Sid and Gino playing the same line the last few games? Jari's first game back after his AHL assignment is a disaster. How fast is he put on waivers? I mean, Cassie, it doesn't matter if you put him on waivers. Nobody's claiming him. Jari's got to find his game, or he's going to find himself bought out at the end of the year. That's the reality of it. It's rough, unless he's got one of those buyout-proof contracts. Rough signing. They should have waited. Or just gone a different. Oh, nice giveaway goal. No way did that not go in. How did that not go in? Brat just got robbed. Oh, and he's on my fantasy team too. How it hurts me. What happened? I can't wait to see the replay. That feels like a block. I didn't hear a post. Man, whatever Oilers player that was, probably that stung. But, dude, good for you. Cassie, to finish your question, Sid and Gino on the same line the last few games. What's Mike Sullivan going to do? What else is he going to do? He has no depth. Nola Chari's playing second-line minutes recently. Like, I love Nola Chari. He's not a second-line guy. Oh, and my question is this, and I keep asking it, and I think it's a fair question. How long before those guys say, you know what? I don't think I want to be bad my last couple of years of my career. And what can Pittsburgh really do about it? They're cap strapped. You had to go get Erik Karlsson. You needed to sign Jari. We could not possibly start a season without signing Ryan Graves for 7 years. And that's 2 years ago, man. Oh, he missed. Did he miss? Jesper Bratt. Oh, it went off of, I think, Bouchard's stick. Maybe Hughes. Oh, no. Oh, Jack's not going to like that. Oh, no. Oh. Oh. Trees, I live in California. It depends on the variety. Some leaves fall, some don't. Now, here's my question. If you live in a hot climate and the leaves do fall off the tree, how long before they regrow? Is it like a couple months or is it like right away? Because, we have to wait till late April before we even see buds on trees. And then there's like one weekend where it gets warm in like early May and then poof, everybody has leaves again. It's one weekend. All the trees are like, now, we're going to do it now. It's crazy. Gino's getting traded in the offseason. I don't know. Sarah Volley was talking about Seattle potentially moving off Yanni Gourde or Brandon Tanev. Who would you rather on the Leafs? Now, I know Brandon Tanev is a great story because his brother plays here, and that would be super cool. And he also takes the sickest pictures. Here we go. We got a bit of a New Jersey rush here. Brought almost. But here's the thing. Brandon Tanev's a left winger. Yanni Gourde, on the other hand, I got to tell you, I like Yanni Gourde. And I like Yanni Gourde because Yanni Gourde's a center. Yanni Gourde scores, when he's at his best, about 50 points a year. He had that one season in Tampa Bay where he went off and was like scoring crazy amounts of points. But, we don't need him to do that. We need him to be experienced centerman who can win faceoff draws for the third line and play some kick-ass hockey with Bobby McMahon and Max Domi and maybe Nick Robertson from time to time. Like, come to Toronto, be a badass. He's had 3 assists in 13 games this year. Man, there have been some surprising ones. Yeah. So I think I like the Yanni Gourde thing if that happens. But again, I think we're a ways off from the Leafs making a trade. Adam, SDPN, can you guys enable mini player on streams? I don't know. I would have to ask Hayden and Drew. I don't know. That's a Drew question. Gourde has a $5.1 million cap hit. The cool thing about that, about the $5.1 million cap hit is Seattle would probably need to retain. And then it's not $5 million anymore, is it? It's 2.5? 2.5. 2.45. Something like that. How about that math? Listen, it's 9:17 at my time. far, far too late to be doing math questions. I just think we need centerman. We need more centerman at the Leafs. What's going on with Alex Nylander? Do we see him in the NHL before Christmas? Almost a point a game in the AHL. Alex Nylander wanted to play here, and he wanted to. And the Leafs, the great thing about the Leafs is they can pay him a pretty good salary at the AHL level. And yes, he is a point a game. And so was Kiefer Bellows last year. And Kiefer Bellows never played for the Leafs. He was really, really good, but he didn't play. I don't know. I don't know where Alex Nylander really fits in. And they also have a logjam. Like they have too many contracts, right? Because you're allowed 50. And he's on an AHL contract, not an NHL contract. So I don't think they could sign him unless they drop some contracts. And I think in that case, they would probably be in a pretty desperate spot. I think they wanted to bring him in. He wanted to be here, obviously. He's lighting it up. He's having a great time. He's enjoying it. And I think the idea is long-term, maybe next season. But I don't see Alex Nylander being a Leaf this year. And if he is, and he comes up and he scores like he did in Columbus, I'd be thrilled. We could use some depth scoring. Gord is playing fourth line. Leafs don't need another fourth line and a quality third liner. See, Julian, I think Yanni Gord can be a quality third liner. It just depends on where his play is at. And again, I haven't looked into it. Adam, will you track the Juan Soto flight logs? Man, listen, I know that nobody else wants to admit this, but that 20-minute period where it was almost confirmed that the Blue Jays had Shohei Ohtani, that was some of the best 20 minutes of my life. I will follow that like I followed Kawhi, like I followed Shohei, like I followed John Tavares. I will follow the shit out of that. And even if he's using Toronto as a way to get more money from a city that he actually wants to play in, I'm still buying in all the way. I love a free agent chase, especially when it's the top guy. Plus, it'd be kind of sick to see him play here. 42 seconds left in the first period. Couple of opportunities, but nothing crazy going on in this game. Not yet. Not yet. It might. What are your thoughts on the rumors that the Avs could target Nick Robertson? Well, I haven't seen them. I haven't heard them, but it makes a lot of sense. The Leafs have a glut of forwards. Nick Robertson's played really well. He just hasn't had the results. And, he did want to trade in the offseason. The only issue I have with that is then you're basically saying if you're the Leafs, we have no depth scoring and we never will. Like, I know Calle Jarnkrok scored 20 goals, but the guy has been injured. Did he play in the playoffs last year? Oh, we almost shot from Edmonton here. No. Oh, period ends. I just, how injured was Calle Jarnkrok? How good is he now? Right? So I guess if you trade Nick, it depends on what you can get for him. But I'm a Nick Robertson fan. I like the guy. I think he's got a great shot. I think to be honest with you, I think he'd be a great fit in Colorado. So maybe they should do it. I don't know. Why do fans outside of Pittsburgh hate the EK deal so much? Look at who they traded away to have EK on your team, and his crap defense is like, I'd rather have EK and his crap defense than like three worst players. Cassie, you're right. I think it's just that EK is not the right fit for the Pens when you have Letang. And I think what muddies the waters a little bit there too is the Graves deal. It's never worked. Didn't make sense at the time. Doesn't make sense now, and they can't move it. And now they can't move EK either. And I don't know. To me, I like what Erik Karlsson brings, but you've got to build a team around what he brings, and how much longer can he bring what he brings? And that kind of money, it's like the thing with the Karlsson deal is they might want to get out from under it, and I just don't know how they do. So that's just me. Dodgers should sign Juan Soto. Could you imagine that? Jack, yes, absolutely I could. Absolutely. The Dodgers have an ownership group that they're going to spend so much money and it doesn't matter. So, hey, I'm going to take a quick breather. I'm going to make a coffee and I'm going to come back and we're going to hang out. But we're going to play a little clip. I have no idea what the clip is. It's about the Timothy Liljegren trade. Speaking of defenseman trades. So let's check it out. We have a thing on this show, and it dates back to when Thomas Vanek was dealt by the Buffalo Sabres. It's a long, long time ago. The show's been on the air for a while. And the thing is that we talk about something that may or may not happen. And we go in depth about what happens if it doesn't happen. And then immediately after the show is put out, the thing that we talked about for a good chunk of the episode happens. Last episode, we went in depth on, hey, what if the Leafs kept Timothy Liljegren? What would that look like? What are they really going to trade him for? Olli Maatta only got a third. Olli Maatta got a third, though. That's pretty good. Could the Leafs get that for Liljegren? He's only played one game this year. And we found out Timothy Liljegren was traded to the San Jose Sharks for a 3rd and 25, a 6th and 26, which makes them easy to remember. Both of those picks way better than that Montreal 2026 second-round pick. I'm just throwing that out there.
That's not true.
And Matt Benning as well, who's played over 440 games in the NHL. Right-shot defenseman, big guy, just had hip surgery, 30 years old. He's a guy that actually the Leafs were interested in like 5 years ago to acquire as like a depth piece at the deadline.
Yeah. Hip surgery will change things.
Sure. Sure. But I think he was thrown in there to help make the money work a little bit.
Yeah.
They can bury the majority of his contract. I think he makes 1.25. They can bury 1.1 of that. I
think at this stage in both of their careers, I'd rather have Connor Timmins, but whatever.
Sure.
They mentioned yesterday that Benning could get flipped.
Yes,
so,
he might.
Knows?
CJ Show did mention that. And until he is flipped, he will wear number 55, last worn by Mark Giordano.
Oh, CJ Show mentioned that he could get flipped?
Yeah.
Oh, forget the TSN part.
Yeah, exactly.
Sorry, that's the only place I heard it was on the CJ Show.
So he could get flipped because the Leafs in this trade, they freed up some cap space if they send Benning down, but they also didn't free up any roster spots because they took a player back, and now they've assigned Hakanpää and Dewar to conditioning stints, so they've delayed the return of those two gentlemen a little bit here, but eventually they're going to need a roster spot, so something's afoot.
And conditioning stints are 2 weeks, so we may not know about this until 2 weeks from now.
That's right.
Right? So it could be a while.
They keep here.
I think what we should do on day 13 is go in depth about it and then watch them.
Metal clinking against concrete? That's them kicking the can down the road.
I like that.
Just another couple of weeks.
Yes, they're good at that.
In the immortal words of Lou Lamoriello, if you have the time, use it.
Sign it to 7 years.
Yeah, sign it.
If you have time,
make
sign
sure
it
that
to
you
7
get more
years.
time. So
Send
much
it
more
to
time.
the minors.
So Timothy Liljegren, and it was interesting to hear Craig Berube talk about it because Tim's agent was interviewed, and Craig Berube said this: looking back at training camp, I think guys just outplayed him a little bit. He's got the ability. He can skate and move the puck. I wish him all the best. It just didn't work out here. That's the best way I can put it. And his agent kind of spoke about it and said that it was stressful, that it was, packing things up. But at the same time, he probably wanted this. His agent confirmed he wanted this. And you're still shaken by the phone call when you get traded, I think. I don't think that part's easy. But I think that this instantly puts him in top 4, if not top 2 territory.
Oh, yeah.
In San Jose. And if he can or if he can't, we'll know.
Yeah, I mean, I get sad. Every time someone who's been with the Leafs for a while,
drafted, developed,
I get sad. And this is a trade that I wanted to happen, and the Leafs got way more for him than I thought, obviously based on last show. So why am I sad? I don't know. I just feel like
you're sad at the lost opportunity for both sides.
Yes, that's 100% it for both sides. I feel. There's regret to go around. And I also love how classy he was about it. The agent did say one thing that I think we'll probably get to about, the Leafs not exactly liking him, which I thought was pretty funny.
Yeah.
But he was honest. He didn't play well enough. They developed him, won a Calder Cup here, which meant something to me. I think a lot of this got set into motion when Rasmus Sandin got traded. I think that broke his heart a little bit. It's also kind of heartbreaking that this contingent of the Swedish takeover that the Leafs sort of had in their prospect pool for a while is sort of over. It was Wylde, it was Sandin, it was Engvall, it was Liljegren, it was Dmitry Timashov was part of that for a while as well. I'm trying to think of other guys I might have missed. It just, I don't know, it made me sad for the guy. But objectively, this is the right move for both teams. The Leafs were not going to use him. Mm-hmm. He lost his spot in camp. He did poorly.
Yeah.
I did say something in the LFR that rubbed some people the wrong way, but I'm going to stand by it. And let me explain it.
Controversial Steve.
No, let me because I said he had 2 coaches and 2 GMs who he lost favor with, and I stand by that. It's totally true. He had Dubas and he had Keefe, and he obviously fell out of favor with Keefe, or at very least, Keefe didn't play him every single game. Like, it was crazy to me that even up until last year, he hadn't played himself into a position where he's playing absolutely every night. Like, dude, you can't be getting taken out. At $3 million, you definitely can't be getting taken out. And then Brad Treliving has had him for over a year. And then I said Craig Berube. And people were like, well, geez, that's a bit tough. No. You have the whatever it is 2-3 weeks in camp and in not spring training, in preseason to impress them and be like, here's why I should be here. He did the opposite of that, and it wasn't just me and it wasn't just Craig, and Justin Bourne, I remember, and maybe not everyone saw it because it was a preseason game, had a great intermission breakdown on Sportsnet where he was just like, I'm not impressed with this player. He's making bad decisions. You don't want him out there when you have a lead. You don't want him out there when you're behind. Yeah. So what do you do here? Right? So if Liljegren at 25 years old really develops into his own in San Jose, 1, no one will be surprised. And 2, I really think it needs to be remembered that he's not in Toronto anymore for a reason.
Yeah. And no, I think to support your point, Craig Berube has been here a little bit now. Like he's had the full training camp.
Couple months.
And he's had a couple of games. And Nick Robertson did the exact opposite of Timothy Liljegren. Like there is an example of what you can do when given an opportunity. He hasn't been producing on the stat sheet, but what he did in preseason and training camp is he worked really hard. He put up points there, but the hard work and the mentality and just the skill he displayed during that period allowed him to gain favor with the coach. And now the coach trusts him to be there in big moments.
It's earned him some rope.
This team.
It's earned him some rope.
Exactly. And Liljegren had that opportunity time and time again with the Leafs because he's been here for a while. And with this head coach, he could have performed better in preseason. And at the beginning of the season, like he wasn't given that opportunity because he wasn't good then. And that's his own play. It's not on management that he didn't earn that spot.
The money factors in. And, I don't know if Timmins is miles better than Liljegren, but the problem is Timmins makes less than half.
Here's what Peter Wallen, who is Liljegren's agent, had to say that Steve alluded to. He said, he's always been on alert somehow. He's always needed to prove himself to the Leafs. We always felt they didn't really, really like him. They liked him, but they didn't love him. I don't know. And so...
that's not the kind of player you need. Can you read the quote again?
He's always been on alert somehow. He's always needed to prove himself to the Leafs. We always felt they didn't really like him. They liked him, but they didn't love him. I don't know.
This is the National Hockey League.
Yeah, and
what?
That's us. You always need to prove yourself.
Yeah. What are you talking about? They spent a first-round pick on you. They brought you to North America immediately.
Yeah.
You won a Calder Cup with them. Listen, I'm not going to sit here and pretend like over the years we didn't go, dude, what the hell? What does Liljegren got to do to be playing games over Justin Hall? And there were times where he 1,000,000% deserved to be playing games over Hall where he wasn't. And I can understand how that might screw with the person's confidence. And it's not like I don't ever have questions of confidence in myself, but the best athletes in this sport have a deeply ingrained belief in themselves that gets them over the top.
Also, I'm never going to fault any agent for defending their
no. Hell no.
Saying something publicly that supports their player, just pencil that in. They're going to do that. So I think that makes sense.
And that's as gentle a criticism of the Leafs as I've ever heard an
Right.
agent say, but maybe that's just because we hang out with Walsh.
And he's also being paid to say things like that.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
That's his job.
Yeah.
And we are back. Timothy Liljegren, I was reading some of the chats. I guess he's been playing third line minutes over in San Jose. And I think that kind of makes a lot of sense because the guy just got there and it's kind of hard to learn a new system, especially with such a young team. And, I want to say, as much as he drove me bonkers sometimes, I do wish him well. This is a player that we've covered since he was drafted in 2017. I believe that's a long time. So yeah, I'm just pulling up the roster here. He's playing with Henry Thurin. And he gets to play behind Jan Ruda and Cody Ceci, who are both strong veterans. Mario Ferraro and Jake Wallman are really good puck movers. So, all of a sudden the Sharks defense doesn't look so anonymous. Like last year, what was the Sharks defense? It was Jan Ruda, Mario Ferraro, and this year it's Wallman, Cody Ceci. Yeah, so you've got Liljegren, Wallman, and Cody Ceci. That's not bad for like the last few months and what they've added. I'm not expecting them to be crazy good, but like I'm expecting some of those guys to be really great deadline pieces. I also hope that Liljegren gets some time to run a power play because the one thing that I would say he was very, very good at was moving the puck. And, what the hell? Oh, it looks like, okay, so they have put him in the top power play unit. That's with Toffoli, Wenberg, Eklund, and Granlund. At one point, that would have been a pretty, especially with Toffoli at his height and Granlund at his, that would have been a pretty effective line. But, I look at that now, and I think Toffoli's still got it. That guy's still got it, man. But, like, I look at Wenberg, Eklund, Granlund, and Liljegren, and I'm like, is that a PK unit? It's not exactly devastating. You know what is devastating? Having Macklin Celebrini in your fantasy team and him going down after the first game, despite the fact that he scored. That was devastating. And I've been hanging on to him, and I still don't know when he's going to be back, but damn it, one day it's coming in. Casey McIntyre, Adam, if you had to buy a diesel truck, what are you picking? Oh, boy. Listen, I am partial to when it comes to this stuff, and I don't know diesel that well, to be honest with you, but like, if I'm going used, I'm going F-150. And the reason I'm going F-150, not just because I have one, but because they are consistently great trucks. They just deliver every year, all the time. My brother-in-law has an F-150 that's 12 years old. I think it's got 300,000 kilometers on it, and it still looks, runs, functions for everything that he needs. It's a spectacular vehicle. It's awesome. So yeah, if I was going to do diesel, that's what I would do. So there you go. There's my diesel take of the night. Oh, Jesper Bratt broke his stick on that. I just saw the replay. Yuck. Doug Leaf fan, did you get it? To deep dive into Brian McFarland's Peter Puck. When will you and Jesse do an appearance? Well, I did not look into Peter Puck. I have not had the chance. And Doug, I don't know what I'm looking to get. Will Jesse and I do an appearance? I'm not sure what you mean. You'll have to get more specific. That guy from Canada, which player in the league do you unconditionally love and want to be a Leaf? Mine is Connor Garland. Hey, man, that's a great pick. I would love Connor Garland to be a Leaf. I would tell you that I think Robert's unconditional love pick, Robert Malloy, is Tyler Toffoli. And Tyler Toffoli would make a great Leaf. I'll go with Robert's pick on that one. And I'll tell you why. I want Tyler Toffoli to come in and play on the third line. And I want us to go get a center and Tyler Toffoli. Go get a high-scoring center or somebody who can play a little defense, get a little offense. Like I'm talking about a guy that does 55 points a year. That's what I need. And then Tyler Toffoli with him. And just make that Leafs, and then maybe Calle Jarnkrok to round out that line. Make that line just annoying to play against, and also they can get you key goals. Like, I want one of the members of that group to be the guy that becomes like the playoff favorite and goes like on like a run. Every year there's always like remember that crazy year where Matt Bolesky just lit it up in the playoffs and everybody's like, who is this guy? He's crazy. What do you mean he's a UFA? And then Boston signed to that crazy UFA deal and he wasn't that great. I want to tell you something. I want a Matt Bolesky type of performance. Tyler Toffoli will give you that, except for Tyler Toffoli's he's the big deal. He's the real deal. His contract is $6 million by 4 years. We cannot afford to pay top tite. Wow, Robert, look at you in the chat. True, but what if you said to the San Jose Sharks, I don't feel like paying that. What if you paid some of it? So, no, it's got to be. Hayden says Joel Eriksson-Ek. Joel Eriksson-Ek is a Wild player. You can't pick him, Hayden. You can't pick him. You got to pick somebody that doesn't play for your team. Who's a player that you're like, God, if he was on my team, we would be so good. You know what, Leaf fans? I'm going to give you one. Brad Marchand. God, I hate him, but God damn it, I respect him. He's great. He's great. San Jose retention spots are maxed. Okay, well, you'd have to involve another team then. Adam, Celebrini will be back tomorrow. Get him in. Yeah, let's go. Let's go. Brady Kachuk, somebody said in the chat, dude, Brady Kachuk rules. That's like an easy one. Oh, do you want a guy that hits and scores and is a positive person in the thing and comes from a family of hockey players who have won things and he's young and he makes good money and like Brady Kachuk is the man's a dream. Shawnee Bear says Mikko Rantanen. See, I thought we needed to be a little bit hipster about this. If you're just going to name the top 10 players in the league, I saw somebody in there said McDavid. It's like, no way. You like Connor McDavid? That's crazy. Tell me what other cool takes you have. No, I want you to get granular. Let's get dirty. I want you to reach to the B side of the record. I want bottom 6, but damn it, if we had him in the playoffs, it would be our year. That's what I want it to be. Everybody loves Tom Wilson. Deb, listen. I love the way Tom Wilson plays. I hate the way Tom Wilson gets injured. And that would be always my question. Tom, mayor of Pittsburgh, Wilson is the best. Jay says Michael Bunting. Man, when Michael Bunting is on, he's great. When he's not, he's benched. You can ask Cassie about him. Thank God we have Steve to balance out Adam's absolute hysteria. I thought we've been pretty calm and cool here tonight. Colin McBride, you said anyone to be fair. I'm a literal person. Oh, Nick Aston says Sam Bennett. Yo, Nick, true. And guess who's a UFA this year? That's right. Samuel Bennett. Could be a Leaf. Apparently wants to be one eventually. Would be pretty cool. Jesse Atkinson, Frank Frachano, Ryan Lomberg, and Radko Gudas. Somebody's a Florida fan. I love the Lamborghini. I think Radko Gudas rocks. He didn't want to come to Toronto, so he sucks, and screw him and boo. But Radko Gudas on a playoff team. Oh, although occasionally you have to watch out though, because occasionally Radko Gudas goes, "I'm going to get suspended tonight," and then you have to deal with the fact that he's suspended. Bunting having a tough start in Pittsburgh, took a spear last game too. Oh, that sucks. Adam, do you think Rantanen will stay in Colorado? Yes, I do. Yes, I absolutely do. Because here's the thing with the Colorado Avalanche. They suck right now. But no team has ever been able to use the excuse for injuries more than the Colorado Avalanche. And we're not even talking about like Gabe Landeskog. We're talking about the guys that started the year. You need to know you need to know that the Avalanche are going to be good again. Like next, if this continues and this is a bad year and this stuff happens, by the way, how do you think, hold on. I want to look at this. I think it was 2015. The Lightning missed the playoffs. 2015 Lightning. And I think it was 15-16. They might've missed the playoffs and they were bad. And then they had a really high draft pick and then they were good again. Hold on. I'm going to go Lightning Draft 2015. Tampa Bay Lightning draft history. What year was this? So they got Cal Foote. That was the draft they got Cal Foote. Okay, so it wasn't even a great pick. Interesting. Yeah, but the thing about being bad, this does not support my point at all. Wow, that really sucked. The thing about being bad is it allows you to pick good players. And I think the Avalanche could pick a really good young player, and that's a pretty cool dressing room to walk into with Rantanen and Nathan McKinnon, all those guys. I don't know. Clock check is 17:35, by the way. The second period has started. It's been a lot like the first period. I'm not going to lie to you. There have been some chances. Shots are about what you'd expect them to be. 11 for New Jersey, 13 for Edmonton. It's interesting, though. Edmonton came out on fire. 5 shots on New Jersey's Jake Allen and no goals. New Jersey didn't get a shot until their first goal. And then they were up 1-0. And there's been nothing Edmonton could do about it. Man, okay, so let me ask you this. You're Stan Bowman, and he was interviewed at intermission. You're Stan Bowman, and you have the best player in the world on your roster, but he's out for a couple weeks. The guy that he might be paired with on Team Canada, Zach Hyman, has not been scoring to his level. Leon's been good. Depth scoring hasn't necessarily been there from the guys like you would hope it was from, like Jeff Skinner, for instance. Let me ask you this. Do you make a move up front, or do you go, no, Connor will be back. Let's focus on improving the defense? I just want to know. David Owens, do you think Gudas turned down Toronto to avoid the 40-game suspension he'd get for playing in that jersey? Yeah, I think that there are certain players that just don't want to play in the big spotlight, and I think he's one of them. And you know what? Some of it, too, comes down to like, hey, my team doesn't want me anymore, but I can't play for our divisional rivals. Players are competitive like that. I get it. And you get to live in California. And he essentially knew when he signed that contract he'd never have to play in the playoffs again. So maybe he wanted to give his body a break because he had played a lot of playoff games and they'd been tough games. Yeah, he gets to be captain, but it's not like you're signing in Anaheim because you're like, man, I really believe in this team's immediate future. Yay, go Ducks. He's signing that deal going, we're not going to see the playoffs until like year 3 of this deal, and maybe my body will be healed by then. Oilers need more scoring than defense right now. See, that's interesting. I wonder if goaltending might help with that. I wonder if Calvin Pickard being squared up on that shot properly in the first period might help with that. It is weird because Stuart Skinner was so unbelievable in the playoffs last year that we forgot about how bad Stuart Skinner was to begin the year. And here he is reminding us. Why does he keep doing that? Also, he should be Team Canada's goalie. It shouldn't even be a question. And what are we doing here, Stuart? Please, God, play better goal so we're not going to have to be so worried about it. By the way, 354 in the game, which I'm thrilled about. Guys, can we drop some likes in the like thing? It helps us meet new people. Add to Gripper Nation. Add to Gripper Nation. Adam hates the Ducks. I don't hate the Ducks. I think that the Ducks are bad right now, though. And I think that that's not a crazy take. 14:27 left in the second period. Not a lot of shots this period. If I'm not mistaken, there's been one. Maybe 2. I think Edmonton had one. I think New Jersey had one. That's in 6 minutes of hockey. What the hell is going on here? What's happening here? How could the Oilers fit in a decent goalie and be cap compliant? Good question. Don't think it's possible. Biddington, Hill, Fleury are on the team, Canada's goalies. Man, Stuart Skinner not being there after going to Game 7 of the Stanley Cup Final is going to hurt him. But he's had a bad start. They can't bring him. Unless, like, here's what could happen. Let's say Stuart Skinner has a November like he had a June or a May, where he was spectacular. If Stuart Skinner has one of those and the Oilers go on a run, People are going to know about it. It's going to be hard to hide that. Then I can see it. Now, I want to talk to you guys about something that I wanted to. You're going to hear about this on the show, and this is one of our sponsors. But I have to be very delicate about how I do this, okay? Because I want you to go to a game. If you're a hockey fan, which of course you are, I don't think you'd be listening if you weren't. If you're the biggest hockey fan from Toronto, and this is a Toronto, Ontario only thing, well, here's your chance to prove it. And there's a very cool prize up for grabs if you can win it. So we've partnered with 888 Casino to bring this your way. And you've got 2 lower bowl tickets to Toronto versus Ottawa November 12th, and they could be yours. Okay? If you want a chance at those tickets, here's what you got to do. Click on the link in the description. We're going to put it in the description for you. Okay? Subscribe to 888 Casino CA on YouTube and comment on any of the casino videos telling us why you are the biggest fan of hockey in Toronto. It's the nation's capital versus the provincial capital. If you want to be there, then show us. Go to 888 Casino. Show us what you got. Okay? And by the way, 888 will be contacting the winner on Sunday, November 10th by replying to your YouTube comment. So make sure to use that in the YouTube comment. Matthew asks, why won't anyone talk about Montembeault for Team Canada's goalie? And here's my question. Have you seen him play since he played the Leafs? Montembeault is going to be a good goalie. Guy's not ready for prime time, I don't think. And it's not a hit out on him. It's a very simple, I think there are better options right now. And when he proves he can be a starter, then he'll need to prove that he can be a good starter. When he proves he can be a good starter, then he'll need to prove that he can play under pressure. And he plays in Montreal. There's lots of pressure there. So that'll kind of prove itself. Then he can be Team Canada's goalie. And I look forward to that day. I look forward to the day where another Montreal Canadiens goalie carries us all the way to a championship in like a world stage thing. I love that Ken Dryden did it. Love that Carey Price did it. Is Sam Montembeault the next guy? I'm ready for that. But I got to see it first. Oh my God. Pod Colson almost had one there. New Jersey's on a rush here. Listen, one guy that is so criminally underrated, who's so good, is Dawson Mercer. And I'm waiting for him to break out. I want him to be what I think we all think he can be. I love that player. Brett Pesce, new to the Devils this year, came over from the Carolina Hurricanes, who are on can you believe this? The Carolina Hurricanes are on pace, despite losing Brady Shea and Brett Pesce, on pace. Oh, and Jake Gensel too. On pace for 130 points this year. Now, did they have a crazy October? Yes. But it doesn't seem to matter what Carolina loses. They seem to be a good team anyway. I have to say I'm blown away. Absolutely blown away. Wes Richard, 5 gifted memberships. Thank you, Wes. Appreciate you, man. Gripper Nation appreciates you. All right. Kayuya, I have no faith in the Jets or the Hurricanes despite their hot start. Yeah, so the Jets are on pace. We were talking about on the show today. I think they're on pace for 150 points or 140 or something crazy. Record-breaking. But when you go 11-1, you're on a record-breaking pace. It's crazy that they've done that. It's nuts. Gary Hall says, my eyes are on CNN. What is the score? Gary, it's way too early to be focusing on the election. Tomorrow, that could be tomorrow's problem. I'm ignoring it. I choose to ignore it. 12-18 left in the second period. It's 1-0 New Jersey, and they scored on their first shot of the game. Calvin Pickard, he should have had it. He let in a soft one. Can you timestamp again, Adam? It's 12:06, 12:05, 12:04, 12:03. That's where I'm at on Amazon Prime Monday Night Hockey. And that is that a dive? Oh. Wait a second. I got to see this. Hold on. So here's we got Hyman stick into okay. So Hyman gets his stick up on Hamilton. That is clearly a penalty. But Hamilton diving like that is also a diving like that. That was I understand why Oilers fans are booing right now. And that's a slashing call? Oh, they did give him a diving call. Yeah, of course, it's a dive. That's a dive. Come on, Dougie, look it up in your books. We know you study and go to museums. Yeah. I think if you're a ref, yeah. If you're a ref, I gotta say, you don't want to make a call like that and then miss the dive and be embarrassed. Refs hate being embarrassed. So if you're a player, you got to know that. And yeah, sell the call, but here's how you sell the call. If Hyman's stick is at your glove, you go, ooh, my hand, it really hurt. Ooh, ow. Oh, he's in the box. Oh, it's better now. That's what you need to do. You can't take a dive like that, Dougie. 4-4. It's going to be interesting actually to see who this suits more. Because both of these teams are supposed to be high flying, and they are top offensive teams. You're just not seeing it tonight. Know what's going on. Draisaitl's out there. Over to Arvidsson, who's woken up, which is nice. Good shot. Jake Allen, he's always squared up and does not go down easily. Ekholm, back up to the point to Draisaitl's trying to set something up here. Oh, looks like Bouchard is okay. Wow, the Oilers have done a good job maintaining possession, and even when they've lost it, they got it back. You got to know that their legs are just burning right now, though. Got to keep the pressure up, though. Arvidsson cutting across the ice slowly. Ekholm, Bouchard, back to Ekholm. Look at this. They're just playing keep away. This is like Harlem Globetrotters style. Oh, okay, we got a bit of a break here, but I think they're just gonna, yeah. Nico Heischer's just gonna be like, oh, no way. All right, so Nico Heischer's pass wasn't very good, but the Oiler defenseman tipped it into the Devils' hands anyway, and we got a shot. Yanni Havisto, Adam Wylde, what is your next stage game streams and your next? The next game that Steve streams will be Saturday night. And the next game I stream will be Monday night. So Steve does every Saturday night during the season with a few exceptions. And the ones that he doesn't do, I will do. Family commitments and that sort of thing. You know, everybody's got a life. And I do every Monday night. And I don't plan on missing much on Monday nights because I'm a dad. So you don't miss much on Monday nights anyway. Monday nights are not a night that things happen. And so I'll be doing all the Mondays this year. And then, of course, in the playoffs, Hayden and I will be taking the Western Conference. Steve will be taking the Eastern Conference. Because that's how we do. That's how we do. Right, Hayden? So our next game is Kings and Flames next week, which will be battle of the teams that are horrible at defense and can sometimes score. That'll be a weird matchup. I was kind of hoping this game would just be a knockout punch, like just crazy. Two Rock'em Sock'em robots going bam, 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 bam. It's not turned into that. At least not yet. Here comes Leon Draisaitl. Oh no, that's Connor Brown again. Stetcher. No. Oh, there's our guy Derek Ryan. Anytime goal scorer Derek Ryan. Don't you forget it. Don't you forget it. Ben says, Adam, you a beast. Keep it up. Thank you, Ben. I want to be a beast for you guys. Actually, Gripper Nation. Just love hanging out every Monday night. I'm actually it's funny. I'm sad when these streams are over because it's an entire week before I get to do one again. And I really, really love doing this. I don't know why. I just love it. Oh, Derek Ryan got a shot and we said he might score. And he did get a scoring chance. It wasn't great. Let's see what happens. Derek Ryan, he's our man. And Jonas Siegenthaler for the Devils. Oh. Our fire alarm is going off. Okay. But listen, guys. We're going to put a break on. Wait, no, we're not. I do smell. Am I still on? I'm on, Hayden, right? Do I smell something? No, don't put a clock on. We're good. Yeah, we're fine. Listen, it might be my coffee. Maybe it's my takes. Maybe it's my hot takes. What do we think, guys? Could it be potentially? Maybe the building just heard so many hot takes from Adam Wylde tonight that it just couldn't handle it anymore. Ooh, sizzling hot. Sizzling hot. JPix94, the NHL All-Star game this year should be Team Connor versus the rest of the All-Stars. Well, there is no All-Star game this year, my friend, and I'm grateful for that. No All-Star game this year, no All-Star game next year, because it'll be the Olympics. We get the Four Nations Cup in February. That is going to be fun. And then the Olympics next year, which is going to be super fun. So, yeah. Did Steve leave something in the microwave, SLS? That's a really good question. Did Steve leave something in the microwave? I don't know. I have to check that out. Adam, stop cooking popcorn. Well, it wasn't that either. Yeah, I don't smell anything. I'm just, usually you'd know if something was on fire. Let's see the painting on the wall. Okay, I can show you that. Hang on, let me see what I can do. All right. Game's coming back, by the way, but I'm just going to do this. Okay, ready? So, there's me and there's Jesse. Look at that chest that I have. Very pixelated. And then there is Steve. Mortal Kombat, baby. Unfortunately, when we were putting this studio together, we didn't consider that the look would be... Hang on, let's see if I can fix this. Oh, for goodness sakes, now it's not letting me. There we go. We didn't see that it would just be me between two peepees. But here we are. Is that... No, it's a little bit... I gotta fix that. Yeah. This is where this game's at. It's not that exciting, this game. All right. I'm going to do a little time check here. We got 7:44 left in the second. By the way, this has been one of the faster moving periods I think I've watched this season because there really aren't any whistles. There's really no chippiness. There's really not, there's been the double minors, and we got some extended pressure from the Oilers, but not really any great shots. The Oilers have had 8 shots this period. The Devils have had 1. This is a fart game, guys. Fart. Good old Jesse playing referee. That's dope as hell, dudes. Rock. You guys actually should see the rest of it. There's we've never done a tour video of the STPN studios. Oh my God. Zach Hyman almost ran Jake Allen over. We've never done a tour video. And we should do that at some point. Maybe that's some good summer content for next year, or maybe Christmas content. But there are some pretty cool paintings in here that we had done by a local artist. And we want to use the streaming studio more. Yeah, I don't know. I'm hoping that we get to do more in here. That's what I'm hoping for. I want to do more of these streams. I also don't want to burn out the staff here because we are a very small company. But, my wife is funny. My wife is out of the house with some friends on Friday, and I thought, Detroit Leafs game? Might be fun. But then I thought, it's a lot to put on. There's a lot of people on this, right? Hayden's doing this, and Justin and Robert are doing this. It's 4 people on every stream. It's a lot. It's a lot, man. STPN Cribs? Absolutely, we need to do it. Now, I want to figure something out here. Why are the Devils only 4-4-1? Not 4-4-1. That's not their record. I'm gonna get their actual record. Why are the Devils not the best team in the NHL? Everybody was like, these guys are gonna win the division, and they're 7-5-2, and they've played more games than just about everybody else. So their points percentage is a lot lower than New York, Carolina, and Washington, who are all ahead of them. Why is that? What's going on with the Devils this year? They should be better. James, Adam solo chaos stream. Man, we can do so much more chaos than this. This is nothing. We're merely building, Ripper Nation. We're merely building. We're not there yet. If the Kings win tonight, they would be tied for first place in the Pacific. No way. Wow, you're right. Look at those Kings. And hey, here's the hilarious part about the Kings. They're second in their division, and their goal differential is still -1. Every team, with the exception of the Vegas Golden Knights, going into tonight in the Pacific Division, had a negative goal differential. That is absolutely banana sandwich. That's crazy. And by the way, you know what else is crazy? The Oilers and Flames have the same amount of points. What? Wow. Okay. Calvin Pickard just put one through his defenseman skates. Oh. Kind of underwhelming goaltending. Probably hard to believe Allen is playing well right now. I don't find it hard to believe that Allen plays well just because every time he plays the Leafs, he kills us. I'm finding the game underwhelming. I'm finding the Oilers are not, first off, when they do get shots, it's like to the chest. Not a lot of chaos in front of the net. Not a lot of physicality. Not a lot of passion. It's a weird one. Adam, this is from Eris Mix 23. Project the USA roster for the four nations right now. Here's what it's going to be. Really, really good. I hate how many amazing starters they have. I feel like Anthony Stolarz should be in the conversation to be one of the goalies there. His start has been insane, and the goalie and the Leafs have not been insanely good. They've been okay. I'm gonna say this. I'm not gonna go through. It's 10:04 at night. I am not gonna go through and name every American player and then go which one would make it. The Athletic did post a list. Maybe I can pull up the Athletic one. How about I do that? I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna bring you beyond the paywall. Let me see here. Where is the Athletics list? Can we find it? Anyway, the projections, Four Nations projections, there they are. Let's go with, okay, so here's what the Athletic has for the United States. So on the, and these, I'm just going to give you each position. So left wing, Brady Tkachuk, Kyle Connor, Jake Gensel, Chris Kreider. Center, Matthews, Eichel, Jack Hughes, Dylan Larkin, Vinny Trocheck. Forgot Vinny Trocheck's an American. Right wing, Matt Tkachuk, JT Miller, Clayton Keller, Matt Boldy. Can you imagine? Because Matthews, Eichel, and Matthew Tkachuk have all been named to this team already. Can you imagine a first line of Brady Tkachuk, Austin Matthews, and Matthew Tkachuk? Gross. Left defense, Quinn Hughes, Jacob Slavin, Zach Werenski. Oh my God. Right defense, Charlie McAvoy, Adam Fox, Brock Faber, John Carlson. Yo, their goalies are insane. This sucks. Like, this is going to be, these goalies should all be in the Vezina conversation by the end of the year. You ready for this? Connor Hellebuck, my favorite goalie in the whole NHL. Jake Ottinger, Jeremy Swayman. That's pretty tough. It's a pretty tough team. Kevin Peters said, Adam, Fiala scored just for your fantasy team. Woohoo! Let's go. Let's see what that did for my fantasy team. This game feels a little bit like the Vancouver game. Vancouver and Nashville series last year where I started streaming. Those games were so boring. It was crazy. It was crazy boring. That's okay. It happens. That's all right. I will say this. I'm doing really well against this guy right now. So I need Fiala to score more goals. Brott would be nice as well. Could use a little Jesper Brott. Too many men, Edmonton. Okay, so we're going to finally get a New Jersey Devils power play. Hopefully this gives us a little bit of kick Because this is slow, man. This is really slow. The Devils have had 2 shots this period. I know. Who's winning in fantasy between you, Steve, and Jesse? Well, Jesse is killing Steve and I. Actually, Steve's had a really good fantasy football year. Let me look at the team standings here. I've had a bad. I finished 3rd last year. I'm having a bad year this year. I just drafted poorly. So Jesse's 2nd. Drew is 1st. Steve is 3rd. And I am 8th. And I'm going to lose again. And I'll probably be 9th after this. Oh, that would be Hayden. Hayden's 9th. Hayden is not going to win. Oh, okay. I'll still be 8th after this. Man, I got to draft better next year. What a terrible year. Terrible year. God. So bad. Anyway. And sometimes I was like, maybe I can fix this problem with waivers. I could not fix the problem with waivers. Adam, can you hit us with whomst among us? With a whomst among us for next podcast for good luck. Yeah, I can do that. You need a whomst among us for Gripper Nation, and only we will know about it. I can do that. James Scarsbrook says, if the Bruins start getting injured, they're in real trouble. Oh, we got a goal. The New Jersey Devils, who've had 3 shots this period. Jesper Brott, who is on my fantasy team. Thank you, Jesper. How is it that the Devils, who have been so bad, have scored twice? They scored once on the first goal of the game, on their first shot of the game, which came after Edmonton had 5 shots on them. And then, oh boy. I mean, that's a good play. I'm not even mad at that if I'm Calvin Pickard. That's just really good hockey. Wow. So that is Nason again in front of the net. Brott and Jack Hughes hooking up for that. So that's listen, I'm not going to lie to you. Really good for my fantasy team. Really good. Brott and Jack Hughes on one team. And I've got, let's see what I got. ESPN. I got one team on Yahoo and one team on, So I got Brott and then I've got Meyer and Fiala on the other one and Jesper Brott. Yeah. So yeah, it's been a good night for me. It's a good night, baby. Let's go. I think this is kind of nuts. Like the Devils are bad tonight, guys. Like they don't have it. But the Oilers are also bad, but here's the difference, goaltending. And I know it's a great story that Calvin Pickard made this team. It really is. But this is a team, everybody, like, did you see that Sportsnet graphic? Everybody at Sportsnet picked everybody at Sportsnet picked Edmonton to win. I think there was like one person who picked Dallas. Everybody. What are we doing here? What are we doing? Like the Oilers, you can't have if you really have Stanley Cup aspirations, Calvin Pickard's not your backup, man. He's not. Oh, look at that. Trying to stay on side. Hey, 2:37 left in the second period, guys. Oh, it was Nico, not Jack. What am I saying? New Jersey Devils are killing it on the power play this season, and Brott career stats versus Edmonton are strong. How about that? Hey, I love that. I'm into that. I'm about it. Get me more points. Kratzy says, Adam, this is why the Oilers' goalies' save percentages aren't very good. The team is overall doing quite well at limiting shots, but then a bad goal and a good goal, terrible save percentages. Yeah, it's fair. I just think that they don't trust their goalies right now. And that's got to be a tough spot to be in if you're a goalie. I played goalie one game growing up. And it's hard. It's ridiculously hard. I can't imagine how lonely it is when you're on such a good team and you're not performing, you know? And Stuart Skinner has lost his game and found his game and lost his game and found his game. I'm sure he'll be fine, but they are probably going to have to pick up another goalie. Oh, we got an Edmonton chance here. Podkolzin again. I don't know, man. 23 shots to 13, and somehow Edmonton's down 2-0. Yuck. Maybe the Maple Leafs should hire the Devils' power play coach. Maybe they should hire their head coach to be the power play guy. and yell at refs too. Sheldon's I don't think Sheldon's yelled at the refs once tonight, which is kind of rare. Matthew says the Oilers look exhausted. Both teams kind of look just not into it tonight. Not every game's an A-plus game. Maple Leafs need a cranky mom yelling at on the bench, yelling at everyone. I agree. I think they need a mom who's seen too many dishes left in the sink and is tired of it. Tired of being taken advantage of. That's what you want. Because, man, you're going to listen to that mom. Oh, here we go. Heischer with almost a good little setup there. Hughes is out there. Nason, who is having a great game. You know what? There's one guy in the Devils you could say is having a great game legitimately. It's Stefan Nason. Intimately involved in both goals. Scored one of them. The other one, he's the screen on Calvin Pickard. James Scaresbrook. You mean Karen Keefe. That's funny. That is funny. I got to be honest. I like that. Karen Keefe. Sheldon lost it on the refs a week ago or something. You could clearly see him telling them to F off. Yeah, honestly, I don't. Oh, the Oilers! Get it! Oh, man. Jake Allen, baby. Just solid as a rock. The thing about yelling at the refs is you got to be smart about it. And I think Sheldon is an emotional guy, and I don't think he always was. And it doesn't do your team any favors. Like, listen, refs are human beings. They don't need to like you, but you kind of need to have a mutual respect there. And, in theory, it's like, oh yeah, call the games fairly. But like, okay, they have a job to do. You have a job to do. If you're screaming at them all the time, how much respect do you think you're going to get from them? Even if you're right, sometimes you got to deliver the message in a way that's like that they'll actually take seriously. If you're yelling at them all the time, what are they going to say? Yanni says, Adam, when will Toronto play against the Devils? That will surely be a loss for the Leafs. Well, the Leafs and Devils played, and the Leafs won. Leafs, Devils. Let's see. Their next game is December 10th, and they got another one Jan 16. I believe the Leafs were in New Jersey for the first one on October 10th. They will be in New Jersey for the one on December 10th, and then January 16, they will be at home. Yeah, but the Leafs did a good job against old Sheldon. Let's see what we got here. No. 16 seconds left in the second period, guys. This has been a dry period. This has been a relatively boring period. It's one of those games. Bouchard. So Oilers win the face-off. Can't really seem to do much with it. Devils are all over them. Bouchard with a shot. Siegenthaler blocks it. Looks like the period's just about over, guys. Wow. Man. Yelling at the refs only. I love the poll here. Yelling at the refs. You're only hurting yourself. Or we should yell at the refs more. Well, I can tell you, we are yelling at them at home. Boy. This is a boring game. Like, this is are you not entertained? No, I'm not. And listen, that's okay. Happens. Would like to see a entertaining third period. There's Sheldon talking to Dougie Hamilton. It's so weird to see Sheldon Keefe behind the bench of another team. So weird. Oliver DB was not expecting Stefan Nason to give my fantasy team a hot start to the week. Well, guys, I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to take a little breather. We're going to run a little clip, and then we're going to come back, and we're going to hope and we're going to pray for an exciting third period. We need it. The Oilers have got to score some goals here, man. That you can't play a game this good and not at least get one. So let's see it happen. Okay? So let's run that clip, Hayden. I don't know what it's from. I don't know what we're talking about. Do you have any idea? Okay, so the clip is why are the Bruins so bad? And I never in my life thought that I would get to do this. Why are the Bruins so bad? But here we are. We're going to find out. Let's play the clip. Now, let's talk about the Boston Bruins. Now, the Boston Bruins are interesting. And I'm going to rewind the clock. Boston Bruins, a couple of years ago, after signing him to an extension, Cam Neely, I believe, and who's the general manager?
Don Sweeney.
Don Sweeney was the guy who did it. Invited then coach Bruce Cassidy over to his living room and said, "Bruce,
invited him to his own living room.
You've done nothing but win games for us. Nothing but win games. But the playoff success is not what we need, despite the fact that you have just embarrassed the Toronto Maple Leafs in key games." I specifically talk about that. But if I want to go to, he lost in the first round, lost in the second round, lost in the finals, lost in the second round, lost in the second round, lost in the first round. So he loses in the first round, and they're like, you know what, Bruce, that record's shit. Get the fuck out of Boston.
Fuck off to Vegas and go win a cup.
Yeah, and he immediately wins a cup. Now they bring in Jim Montgomery. And Jim Montgomery is an interesting coach. This is a guy who coached the Dallas Stars, lost in the second round, and then he was fired midway through the next year, I think, or there was some sort of So, so then he was an assistant in St. Louis for a couple of years, and then he takes over the Boston Bruins. And at first, the firing of Bruce Cassidy looks like a really great idea because I remember that particular run going into the playoffs. Jesse said, and he was right about this, the Vegas Golden Knights are kind of mid at everything. But
which is a great thing.
Which is a good thing.
Yeah. Because they're like, they're decent in all areas.
But then Jesse everybody's like, fuck off. The Bruins won 65 games.
Yeah.
That's so many games.
That's a lot of games. It's a lot of games.
The most games ever.
Who cares who's mid at everything? What about a team that's good at everything? And then they go up 3-1 against the Florida Panthers.
Who were not the Florida Panthers of last year.
No.
That team was not very good.
That team became that team. And the year before, by the way, the Florida Panthers had won the Jack Adams. Not the Jack Adams, the President's Trophy. And Andrew Burnett had won the Jack Adams. And
he got fired.
And he got fired for winning that.
Or just not.
And then they just were not good. They had an up and down season and whatever. And Paul Maurice all of a sudden is their coach.
They got hot down the stretch.
And there was a specific game in Toronto where Keith Tkachuk got on the radio here and said, the team looks soft. And what did they do? They fucking pummeled the Leafs that night. And then they went on a run.
And I called it that night, or that day. I was like, the Panthers are soft? They were never soft. But they were soft to the standard that they had set.
That's right.
Clearly. And your team's star's dad,
now,
who also happens to be a very well-respected retired NHL player, calls you soft, and Paul Maurice is your coach, it's gonna make you feel some kind of way.
So
that killed everyone.
That's happening, but no one's paying attention to that. That's just Toronto being Toronto. It's just the Leafs,
man.
And you got a team that's on pace for history. They scored the most points in NHL history, most wins in NHL history.
Vezina.
They're up 3-1. They have a Vezina goalie in net, but he's injured. And he didn't play really well in Game 5, did he?
No.
But I guess, do you try him again?
Let's let him go.
Try him again. Oh, damn.
Oh, damn.
This series is tied. And then they lose. And the Florida Panthers go on to the Stanley Cup final.
And they blow it late in Game 7, too.
Yeah, they did. Now, okay, fine. Shit happens. The team went to the finals. Whatever. So then they put up 47 wins, which is still really good.
And they had a better start.
Yes. And they've got those two goalies. One coming off of Vezina, this hotshot rookie from Alaska who's amazing. Well, he's not a rookie anymore, but you know what I'm saying. Young guy. And they go up 3-1 against the Toronto Maple Leafs. Mm-hmm. And the Toronto Maple Leafs win Game 5 and 6. Mm-hmm. And we're looking at Jim Montgomery like, you're not going to do this again. And of course he's not. It's the Toronto Maple Leafs.
If they lost Game 7, it would have been his last game as coach. I think he would have been fired.
But they lost definitively in the second round.
Yep.
The Panthers steamrolled them.
Smacked them. Yep.
This year, they are 4-6-0. One of those wins is against the Leafs.
which is hilarious.
Which is honestly, that's a free spot.
Yep.
That's free parking for them.
Leafs got a point there, which I think is better than anyone anticipated.
Last night, they allowed 3 goals.
Maddie, you good over there?
Yeah, Maddie, you all right?
She just went like involuntarily.
It sucks, right? Doesn't it suck? It sucks so bad. It sucks so bad.
That's so funny.
It sucks so bad. And everybody's like, why are you so hard on the Leafs? Oh, okay. All right, yeah, for sure. So then, after that, your Galaxy Brain general manager who fired the guy, the next Stanley Cup winning coach at his living room a summer before he went on to win it.
Did not get adequate criticism for it.
And has done other things that are sus. Then him and the management group, they're like, you know what we're going to do? We're going to trade the guy who won a Vezina Trophy a year ago for Eunice Korpisalo, who hasn't been great. He was okay in LA when he was there.
Yeah.
Had a terrible year in Ottawa. And we're going to do it before we sign the guy of our future, even though he doesn't have a deal. And over about, if reports are to be believed, about $4 to $5 million over 8 years, the Boston Bruins made Jeremy Swayman sit out camp. And then all of a sudden, it was getting close to the end, and they said, "Fine, we'll give you your 8-year, $8 million."
Got into
or
a very
8
public spat with him.
Very public spat. And so your goalie, who you're relying on to play probably 50 games this year, has missed the entire camp. Over $5 million over the next 8 years. Sorry, guys, that's like $600,000.
It was, I think, it was less than that.
That's peanuts.
Yeah.
Because the most they'd offered to that year was to that point was 7.8 over $8 million. And then they finished at 8.1.
According to friggin' Cam Neely, it was 64.
Well, they hadn't offered that yet.
64 million reasons.
And he signed for 66. Swayman missed camp. Hard to catch up after that. Now, the Bruins, it'd be nice if they played a little defense in front of him.
Right.
But he was pulled last night. That team let in 3 goals in under a minute against the Carolina, way better than we thought, Hurricanes. Did you know that?
Why do we keep underestimating that hockey team?
I know, it's pretty stupid.
Rod the bod, baby.
Well, we
Rod
kept doing
the
it.
Friggin' bod.
So here's what happens in the first period. You got Roslovic, who's got 5 goals. Wow. And then on the power play, Marchand ties it up. And then with 3 minutes to go, guys, in the first period, you get into the danger zone of, don't let people score. Svechnikov at 7:14. Jackson Blake, close to Jesse Blake, relation.
No. 0
at 17:52, and that Marty Necas at 18:06. That is 3 goals in less than a minute. 2 tip-ins and a snapshot.
So that's what they're allowing.
That's what they're allowing.
Can we talk about what's going in?
Sure, please.
David Pastrnak, 6 goals, 4 assists, 10 points in 11 games. Pretty good. That's maybe a bit behind what you expect of him, but that's good. That's good enough to be getting on. What has everyone else got? Well, the second leading scorer on the Bruins, it's a 3-way tie. Brad Marchand with 2 goals, 5 assists, 7 points in 11 games. Again, good. Probably a little below what you expect out of him.
But Brad Marchand's like 36.
Yeah. Tied with, you guessed it, Cole Koepka.
Yeah.
And Mark Kastelik. Now, there's a world where you look at this and you go, Mark Kastelik and Cole Koepka have 7 points each in 11 games. These guys are probably steamrolling everyone. No one else is showing up. Lindholm, 6 points in 11 games. He's making a lot more than that. And he's also got the same stat line as John Beecher. At least your fourth line is clicking. And then beyond that, no one has more than 4 points. Mason Lohrei, Hampus Lindholm. Like, where are some of the... Okay, Brazo's there. That's good. Patra.
Where's Zacha?
Where the frig is Zacha? He's got 1 goal, 2 assists, 3 points in 11 games. Morgan Geekie has 1 assist in 9 games. Charlie Coyle has a goal, 0 assists in 11 games.
Did the goal come against the Leafs? Because that would be poetic.
I don't think so, but probably.
Okay. In spirit.
No one's scoring. Other than the fourth line.
Well, and if they'd taken a look at Elias Lindholm's performance in Calgary and Vancouver last year, he wasn't scoring at the clip that he used to.
Oh, he can at least be a good two-way player.
Yes, but they needed scoring. And
For a team they had their crazy goaltending tandem.
yep.
They looked at that and they went, this is a luxury that we can no longer afford. We got to get deeper. They went out and they got deeper. Big money on Zadorov, big money on Lindholm, and it has not borne fruit. Borne fruit? Bared fruit.
I think either works.
They haven't gotten fruit from it. They have not been to the store. And I don't know how you fix, hey, no one's scoring.
Well, this is where it comes down to the two guys making all the decisions. It's Cam Neely and it's Don Sweeney. And we know that Charlie Jacobs has defended them repeatedly. And we know that the easy switch here is Jim Montgomery.
For who?
Exactly. Not ideal in the middle of the season.
Joel Quenneville.
We're all just waiting for someone to push the button.
I would assume somebody's going to do it.
It's happening this year.
Probably.
Like Jay Woodcroft will coach in the NHL again, but it'll be after Quenneville gets hired.
Well, if you want your team to score, he'd be an okay guy. But someone's going to push the button. I don't know who it's going to be. I don't know if it's going to be them.
Just
Jim
saying.
Montgomery has won you so many damn games. You said they won 47 last year?
Yeah.
So 47 plus 60.
He's won over 120 games in the last 2 years.
130,
I think.
112.
112?
Over those 2 seasons.
Oh, yeah. Sorry. And then on
He doesn't get a little bit more rope?
I mean, what's standard though? How sideways can this go?
They missed Jake DeBrusk.
Yes, they do.
Which is crazy. Can you imagine this conversation a few years ago?
Mm-hmm.
I don't know how you fix that. You gotta fix it from within. And right now, no one outside of the fourth line for some reason has shown up.
Well, we're back. And you know what? It's not been the best game. I'm not going to lie to you. It's not been a really spicy matchup. And we all kind of thought that it would be. I mean, these are two high-power offense teams. Haven't seen it. This is not the can't-miss game. Now, I did see a little bit about the Luke Schenn, and I'm kind of watching it right now. Luke Schenn went toe-to-toe with Tanner Jeannot, who is a former Predator, and Luke Schenn, a former Lightning player, and they both played there. And Luke Schenn absolutely turns Tanner Jeannot's face into pie filling. Just destroys him. Good, clean fight. And I think, the LA Kings have surprised of late, shown signs of life, and that's cool. But damn, dude, Luke Schenn's mean out there. I wouldn't want to go toe to toe with Luke Schenn. I don't know what you're thinking if you're doing that. I got to tell you, I'm kind of blown away if you're just tuning in to how this game has kind of let us down. And I'm hoping this is what we get. This is what I'm hoping. I hope that we get a good third period because I know that Chuck Knobloch, good shortstop. Chris Knobloch is in there going, guys, we're the Oilers. We went to Game 7 of the finals last year. We're outplaying this team. There is no excuse for this. None. No excuse. Get out there and score some goals. Get some havoc in front of Jake Allen. If you can't do that, you're not going to score. This is a goalie that will stop the puck if you can see it. Now, if you're New Jersey, if you're Sheldon Keefe, you got to go in there and be like, guys, can you get a B12 shot to the ass or something? Like, can we get this going? You're up 2-0 and you really don't deserve it. Put some shots on the net. Put 20 shots on this guy. You'll probably have 4 goals. Win this game. Take this game. Come on. Dolan Dark says, Adam, as a media company CEO, what are your thoughts on what is currently happening with Mr. Beast and his company's rampant misconduct allegations? How does a CEO tackle issues like this? Well, when you get to Mr. Beast's level, You got a lot of people working for you, and you probably, if you're Mr. Beast, the worst mistake you can make is being CEO. He's the owner. He shouldn't be the CEO. And, for us, Steve and Jesse and I are, partners in this business. But when you get to Mr. Beast level, creating the content and managing the staff is too much. You simply can't do it. And guys like to have it because they like to call themselves CEOs. And I get that. Some cachet to that. But what he needed was an HR department. That's what they're there for. And it doesn't sound like he had one. And the allegations I have read, and I'll be honest with you, there's been so much going on in the hockey world. And then personally, because I have a kid and whatever, I haven't read. My wife has actually been really into this story because she's a lawyer, New York Times subscriber, wants to know more. I would say that the way to do it is to face it head on. If you've let your company get to this point, you're probably not qualified to be the CEO anyway. And this is why, if you're Mr. Beast, you hire a CEO. You hire somebody who's got a degree in this. He can afford just about anybody on the planet. So go get somebody from a great school and or with a great background in business, and say to them, listen, I am the talent here. I am the owner here. I created this. Solve this problem for me. Don't let this happen. It's wrecking my brand. I've worked my whole life for this. It's wrecking my brand. And this is assuming that Mr. Beast himself isn't a part of the problem. If he is, then they might be up Schitt's Creek without a paddle, as they say. Sometimes the star of the show is part of the problem, and they created the company culture. Sometimes it's neglect. Sometimes it's I look the other way, or I'm on the road all the time, or. But if you're the CEO, you're responsible. And that's why if I were him, I'd be hiring somebody else to do that job. I'd be focusing on doing content and get an HR team and make sure this never happens again. This cannot happen again. Whatever's gone on, it can't happen. Just can't. Adam, one of his employees and close inner circle guy got arrested for distributing horrific stuff. It's really, really bad. See that, Dolan? That's what it comes down to. Are you looking the other way? Are you part of the problem? And if you look the other way, then you deserve what's coming. Listen, you hire people. Not every hire is going to be great. Not every work culture is going to be great. And people are going to do bad things, and you can have no control over that. But you can put safety parameters in place, like an HR department, to make sure that stuff like that stays out of your workplace, right? And, these guys, they all come up and they're stars, and like there are stars on a level we can't relate to, and they bring their boys with them. And not all of their boys are good guys. And it's hard to break up with a friend. Because if you tell that friend, oh, well, you can't be a part of this anymore, the friend's going to be like, well, we're not friends anymore. And then you're one friend down. But you know what? Better to be that than the position he's in right now. I don't know. That's me. You got to dump your friend, man. Dump your friend. If he's distributing horrific stuff and I don't know what it is, and I don't really want to get into it because it's supposed to be a fun stream, I'll tell you, whatever horrific means in this context, and I haven't paid enough attention to it, I'll admit, dude, you get rid of that guy immediately. And I hope whatever it is that he didn't know about it before. Because if it comes out that you did, you're over. You're cooked. It's over. It's over. That's what you hire people for. That's what the millions of dollars are for. Preventing, creating great content, yes. Preventing staff from doing bullshit, including your friends. And I think, guys, it's so weird. We're SDPN. We cover football, we cover hockey, we cover Formula One right now. We'd like to get back into basketball one day. We'd like to be a full-blown sports network, but that stuff takes time, right? It takes time to build over time and years and years and years. And oh, here we go. Corey Perry with a nice little move on Jake Allen. Don't know why he didn't shoot there. He should have shot. Nice little start here from the Edmonton Oilers. This is exactly what they needed. And Leon Draisaitl's been tripped. Nice little pressure, and we're going to the power play. We're not, we're not famous, right? Like famous. Mr. Beast can go to any country in the world and people are going to know who he is. That's famous, right? And I think when you get to that level of fame at that age, you can believe that nothing can go wrong. I'm a guy in his mid-30s. I've had things go wrong in my life. I'd like to think that if, this continues to be successful and we continue to get bigger, I've been in enough corporate environments, Rogers and Bell, spent majority of my career at Rogers and Bell. I see the value in those things, the HR departments and the managers and the people with experience. If you started a YouTube channel in your bedroom at 15 and never worked at a corporation and never had to work your way up and never had to deal with HR, then how would you know? And your friend's the same thing. And, oh, hey, my best friend's one of the most famous people in the world. And I'm famous because he's famous and we're making all this money. And who's going to stop us? That's what happens normally. Oh, David Owens, thank you for the 5 gifted subs. Sedin Magic 15 says the Edmonton deserve to win meter is at 72.6% right now. And they do deserve to win this game. Will they win this game? It depends on how much they get in front of. See, you see Hyman down there right on this power play. He's standing right in front of Jake Allen, but then he leaves. And they go for a jam play with Ryan Nugent-Hopkins. And had Zach Hyman stayed where he was, you would have had 2 guys down low on Jake Allen. And the lane for Nugent-Hopkins to make that play still would have been there. But then you got 2 sticks on it instead of 1. Hyman's got to, I think he's got to plant there. I think he's got to stay there. I'm not seeing shots that are all that dangerous, guys. Like, are we hucking a bunch of muffins at his chest, or are we, putting snapshots low, guys in front of the net tipping pucks? And I think it's been more the first rather than the second for the Oilers. Bouchard, Ekholm. Linex, I'm digging Adam's stash. Well, thank you. Please donate to my Movember. Raising money this year for men's health causes and also growing a dirty stash. It couldn't get better than that. How are the Preds this bad considering they won at free agency? Well, Julian, I'll tell you. It takes time to integrate new people into your team. And the Preds played some mediocre hockey last year until they decided to be their best. Oh, nice little steal here by Jack Hughes. Hang on. And then they went like 20 games without losing a game in regulation. Stupid. Just stupid. I think the Predators will figure it out. I think they're a spectacular defensive team. And I think that they could win the division. I still do. I believe in that team immensely. And I hate it because it was my worst take of the year last year with the U2 stuff. But man, that's a good hockey team, guys. All they got to do is Stammer's got to start scoring. Brady Shea's got to figure himself out. Damn. That's all I got to say. It's going to be a good team. Especially now, too, that the Avs are out. Or that they're not, that they're so injured that you can't really consider them like a major contender. Like, the Avalanche have so many guys out, and they're 7th in the division. The Nashville Predators are 8th in the division. It's wide open. You've had crazy starts from Winnipeg and Minnesota. Dallas has low-key looked really good. Somehow, Utah is still in 4th despite losing their two of their best defensemen. I would say Sergachev is their best defenseman. And having to trade a third for like Oli Mata. No offense to him, but they need warm bodies, man. I don't know. Nashville, this division, a playoff spot is for the taking here. Winnipeg's definitely going to cool off at some point. Come on, guys. Got to figure it out. Boy, this game, I'm doing my best here to inject some life into the commentary. I hope you haven't been bored. But my God, this game has been lifeless. And the Devils, with 2 goals on 14 shots. That first goal against Calvin Pickard, you go back and you look it up. That is a straight up Goalie missed that. It used to be completely, by the way, during this podcast's lifetime, during the STP's lifetime, you couldn't criticize the goalie at all. And I'm glad now that we can say, yeah, no, he probably should have had that. No, yeah, he probably shouldn't have had that. I will say that Calvin Pickard's second allowed goal that the Devils scored, I mean, he couldn't see it. I don't blame him for that at all. The first one, he's not squared up properly. Picks a corner, doesn't know where his posts are. Wrong corner. And you can see the Devils are playing a little bit. They're playing a little bit like a neo trap style right now. It's not a music genre. It's a little bit of a dump. We're not going to be too aggressive. We're going to forecheck it a little bit deep. We've got better forecheckers than they have defensemen. And we're going to use our speed, just get the puck deep. And look at what, you see what, was that Mercer there? Yeah. Oh, here we go. Oh my God. How did that not go in? You got to be kidding me. Oh, I think we got a puck to the face or stick to the face. Oh, Mercer's looking hot tonight. I thought he almost had a goal earlier. Is that Oiler player up? He is. I would like to know what happened to him. I missed that. Sorry, it was the Devils player who was up that an Oiler player hit him in the face. I would love to know. My only complaint about Ken Danico is that it's never the goalie's fault hardliner. And that's because Ken's a defenseman. And I get it, because every goal is ultimately a defensive breakdown, isn't it? But to suggest that no goal is ever truly a goalie's fault is also to suggest that, well, the saves are all really the defense and the great way that they pushed the opposing forwards to the outside. Like, at a certain point, somebody's got to take responsibility. I'm a big fan of taking responsibility when you're wrong, as hard as that can be and as much as that can suck. And sometimes it takes you a while to get to the point where you go, shit, this is really my fault. Yeah, sometimes it's the goalie's fault, man. James, anything can happen in New Jersey. Kevin Peters, Adam, you're a good broadcaster, but you can't make oatmeal exciting. Listen, I'm trying to put a little brown sugar, maybe some raisins in it, some craisins if you want to get a little spicy to this oatmeal, but this is oatmeal. This is slop. This is not a good game. But my favorite guy, Andre Palat's here. There's a guy that I love. Love Andre Palat. Hayden saying, do a clock check. Does it matter? But yes, it does. It's 12 minutes exactly in the third period. That's where I'm at. I would love it if you join me. And we can sync up. We can circle back, to use corporate language. 11:50 now. Koyuya, hey, oatmeal is healthy. Add a hard-boiled egg on that, and you got a tasty, healthy breakfast. Here's the thing, though. The hard-boiled egg, you can add a little Frank's Red Hot. Delish. Little salt, little pepper. Change your life. One of the simplest foods. And by the way, Jeremy says Ken Danico is a god. I agree, Jeremy. I freaking love Ken Danico. I love his commentary. And I really, really love Steve's impression of him. It's actually really good. Okay, here we go. Meyer. We got Mercer Meyer. And we got Mercer. And we got Dougie Hamilton. And Bouchard blocks it. That probably didn't feel great. Good little play there by the New Jersey Devils. Oh, James is a sriracha guy. Put sriracha on that oatmeal, James? Can you put a little sriracha on this oatmeal? Oh, man. Big play there by Pickard. Nice save. Boy. Have to put chocolate chips and a banana on the oatmeal. Hey, a little dark chocolate, still healthy. A little sprinkle. Give me some of that Cholula, Adam. Yo, Justin is right on the STPN chat. Cholula, here's the thing with Cholula. Cholula for me is like a special occasion hot sauce. Like, I can't afford to have Cholula all the time. So I do Frank's. It's a little more. Those little Cholula bottles, by the way, in Mexico are like $1. Or if you want the mega Cholula size, it's like $2. It's like their local hot sauce. Whereas here we're like, yeah, no, it's premium hot sauce. It's the best hot sauce. It is amazing. It's the best hot sauce in the world, as far as I'm concerned. Love a Cholula. But like I was about to say before I interrupted myself, If I'm going Cholula, it's a special occasion. I got like primo chicken fingers, and I like to put my own hot sauce on chicken fingers. So I'm gonna get Cholula. I'm gonna get my chicken fingers. I'm gonna bake those chicken fingers. They're gonna be delicious chicken fingers. There's gonna be a nice crust to them. They're gonna be juicy and delicious, and I put a little Cholula on it, and just let it get into that breading, and you slice it up, and you especially when you're really hungry. Pair that. Weirdly enough, I don't love I like French fries a lot, but they make me tired. I like things like a steamed broccoli on the side. Do that with a little steamed broccoli. That is my dream. That's my dream. Tabasco is the most overrated by far. I like Tabasco a lot. I like that they have different flavors of Tabasco too. I don't know if you've ever tried the Tabasco with garlic. Real good. Real good. Overrated, I don't know. I don't know enough about hot sauce to tell you whether something's overrated. I can only really tell you what I like. Damn, Adam, now I want chicken fingers. And the SDPN chat wants chicken fingers too. Yo, okay. Here's my question about chicken fingers though. When do you not want chicken fingers? Ask yourself tomorrow, random part of the day. Do I want chicken fingers? The answer is always yes. Even if you just ate, you're like, yeah, I could probably go for a chicken finger. They're one of the greatest foods ever invented. And you don't have to have the deep fried ones. I'm talking about like the baked ones. Those are my favorite. I don't want the deep fried. I want the baked, fresh, delish. Here we go. Mercer is looking really good in this third period. Nice little flip to Meyer. Meyer coming in and he scores. Oh, baby. What a pass by Dawson Mercer. Meyer caught it with his left hand, dropped it on the ice. Great move on Calvin Pickard. Ladies and gentlemen, with 10 minutes and 35 seconds left to go in the third period, we finally have life in this game. We finally have something to talk about in the game. Oh, yeah. Man, that is why Jersey paid for a guy like Timo Meier. Look at what happens here. He's got an Oiler on him. It's Zach Hyman. He's a gym rat, but look at how Meier just goes, no, you're not touching me. He just used the power of his glutes to push through that. Oh, my vote didn't go through. Do you want chicken fingers? Yes or yes? You see what I'm saying? Skinner should have had that. Well, Skinner's not in net. So it's Calvin Pickard. Can someone please give me a chicken finger subscription? Hey, Jack Maloney, broccoli is amazing, but you got to cook it Asian style. What is that? I just steam my broccoli. Could you tell me what is Asian style? I would love to know. Can anybody else give me a recipe? I love me some broccoli. Give me fuel, give me fire, give me chicken fingers. I want them fingies. Mama Keith promised chicken tenders. You know, whenever Steve and Jesse and I go out, so like if we go to like a Shoeless Joe's or something like that, Steve doesn't even look at the menu. He's like, don't worry. I'll have the chicken fingers, please. Always. Always. Chicken grippers. No, there are no chicken grippers. Not yet, anyway. Maybe I should come up with my own brand of chicken fingers. Chicken grips, babe. Chicken grips. Parm those fingers. Hashtag parm life. Ooh. Oven roasted broccoli is where it's at. I don't disagree. You got to get the right amount of crisp on that broccoli, though, right? It's got to, Andrew Boucher, Andrew, I think it's Brochinci? Andrew, I know you have a French ass last name and I can't pronounce it, but try it in the air fryer. So, funnily enough, I don't have an air fryer, but I have heard they're worth it. Grilled broccoli with some chili oil is a perfect combo. I should try that. Everything becomes great Asian style, especially vegetables. Andy, you are absolutely right. Asian food, I am dying to go to Asia to eat the real deal. My brother-in-law did a full trip. He was there for 4 months. Full backpacking trip. He said, I've never eaten better in my life. I've never eaten fresher. I've never had better food in his entire life. And he's like, and it was cheap and delicious. And you sat there and you talked to the owners and it was awesome. Adam, have you ever tried Korean fried chicken? Yes, in my old neighborhood, there was this Korean fried chicken joint I used to go to, and I have to tell you, man, delish, so good. Steve dips his chicken fingers in queso sauce. Hey, man, don't tempt him. He might. He might. Hey, we got about 10 minutes left in the third period, 9:55 to be exact. Guys, we're going to get through this game. We're going to get through together. We're going to talk about food. We're going to hope there's another highlight reel goal. I have to say, that Dawson Mercer's looked so good tonight. If there's any player that stood out to me anyway, it's been Dawson Mercer. He's been spectacular. I am jealous and I want him on the Leafs. Talking about chili sauces and Asian food, everyone should make friends with someone who can make sambal bajak. Unreal. I've never had it. I don't even know what it is. J Money, broccoli is best served in the trash. J Money, listen. I'm jealous that you're at the stage that you can ignore broccoli. I, as a man who's put on a few too many pounds over the last few years, cannot. And I really enjoy it. I really enjoy it. Oh, here we go. Oilers. Oh my God. They just can't get one. I lived in Thailand for a year. This is Sean. When I was a kid, it's a crazy place. Great food, though. I've heard it's different, man. But I'm down. I like that. I always wanted to go to the Singapore Grand Prix and Formula One as well, just to see it. Like, it would just be so cool to see some of that stuff. Asia to me just seems like an adventure. I went to Abu Dhabi and Dubai once, and that is not Asia, but to be in the Middle East was pretty spectacular. And I am like dying to go to a place like Turkey. Like go see the history in Istanbul, like where Asia and Europe meet. Are you kidding me? All the history there? Oh, I would die. And the food. The broccoli stems are where the flavor is, not the leaves. James, the stems of broccoli? Whoa. You're out of your mind, man. That's crazy. I like the florets. Guillaume Barube says Dubai is technically Asia. Is it? Well, if it is, there you go. Lurker Lieutenant, Oil traded, moved out all of their puck transporters and got smaller for some reason. It's boring watching them now. Yo, man, listen, I want to say, during especially the Western Conference Final last year, when CC came out and Broberg came in, there was a marked difference. Broberg was way better, and I don't understand why Oilers management didn't see that before that. He was so much better. And look at what, I know he got injured in the Toronto game, but look at what he's done in St. Louis this year. He's been worth it. I know he's making $4 million, and people are like, oh, he'll never live up to that contract. Maybe. Hey, Timothy Liljegren was scratched for the first 10 games of the year in Toronto. Played a game. He's making 3. Is Phil Broberg with a point a game pace not worth $4 million? I think he is. Right shot defenseman? I think he is. Broccoli stems ruined my marriage. I'm so sorry, Jersey Roots. Kayoya, as someone who eats broccoli often, I disagree that stems are where the flavors are at. It's the complete opposite. Lyndon Wong, broccoli stems are literally just tasteless and hard. I know. I don't understand. That's a wild take. How are we? By the way, this is where the game is at. 8:49 left in the third period. Edmonton vastly outplaying New Jersey, although New Jersey's look good here in the third period. And we are talking about broccoli stems, guys. Do you think Suter regrets cross-checking Marner since it cost them their number one defenseman? I don't think Suter regrets anything that he does. I don't think he thinks much. I think he's just a guy who goes, this is what I'm doing tonight. I'm going to put some carbon fiber into this guy's spine, and I'm not really going to think about the consequences. He's made a lot of money doing it. Oh, Broberg is left shot, isn't he? Yeah, I don't know. Okay, maybe he's left shot. Who cares? The guy's great. Guy's great. Way better than what the Oilers have currently, too. SDPN account says, we really should be talking about asparagus with some olive oil, salt, pepper, and grated Parmesan cheese. Cheese. So good, but I want to get the crisp. Some people overcook asparagus, and then it becomes like floppy and weird. I'm a no thanks on that. But dude, if you get a little bit of a crisp with that asparagus, but it's cooked, the parm, baby, talk to me. Jack Maloney, broccoli is best stir fried with beef and other amazing sauces. Yo, Jack, listen, a stir fry, change your life, man. If you get a good stir fry in your life, you never forget it. And it always comes when you're really hungry. Ooh. Luke Venables says, we need a new poll. Are broccoli stems better than this game? I would actually love to. Can we put that poll up, guys? I would love to have a little chat about this. Are broccoli stems more interesting than this game? Verm says, your mom has the best asparagus recipe. Maybe she does. You don't know. Talking about my mom like that. Disrespecting Marilyn. I would love to actually know. Adam, one thing I love about the Leafs this season is back in the preseason, they have not forgiven Ridley Gregg. I'm willing a Morgan Riley empty net slapper this season into existence. I hope it happens, man. I hope it happens too. Raw peeled broccoli stems are amazing. I have never had a raw peeled broccoli stem. Who's taken the time? What do you get a peeler out and just peel that stem? By the way, 7:02 left in the third period in case you're keeping track. You just get a peeler out and is that what you do? What's more interesting, broccoli stems or this game? I'm going broccoli stems. This game's pretty dry, guys. In your defense, Adam, Broberg played on the right as a left shot. That's what I thought. I knew I wasn't crazy. I watched a lot of Oilers hockey in the playoffs. Every game outside of the first round I was watching. And the only reason I wasn't watching the first round is because I was doing the Vancouver games. Did I just have the hottest take of the stream? James, saying that broccoli stems are better than the florets, you're out of your mind. Yeah, you're out of your mind. Broccoli cheese soup is amazing. What about cauliflower? It's white broccoli. I love cauliflower. You know what the best part about cauliflower is? Nothing, not even good potato chips, gives you the same crunch as cauliflower. That crunch, there's like something about it that you're like, this is the greatest experience in my mouth. That's right, the greatest. Oh, it's the best. SDPN account says this game could really benefit from olive oil, salt, pepper, and Parmesan cheese. Amen to that. I don't even think the refs are going to call anything the rest of the game. I think they're just going to let these guys play and go like let's go home. This is one of the fastest hockey games I've ever seen, by the way. It started at like 8:45, right? There was like an 8:30 start time in Toronto, 8:30. Game didn't start till 8:45, 8:50. We're 2 hours later, and there's 5 minutes left in the third. We're not even 2.5 hours away from game time start. That's rare, guys. That's a fast moving hockey game. James says you legitimately eat cauliflower on its own. I can. I like cauliflower that much, but what I like to do is I have a specific type of hummus that I really like to eat, and it's available because a local company makes it here. And it's got like a little bit of extra like onion and stuff in it, and it is so unbelievably savory and good. And I could just sit there on the couch, and I like this better than popcorn. Cauliflower and this garlic and onion hummus, and I will be a happy boy the rest of my life. If that's all I ate, I would be happy. Cauliflower reeks up the house. Well, anything healthy reeks up the house. Like I eat hard-boiled eggs every morning. It's tooty. It smells tooty. Chicatazo. Chicatozo? I don't know how to say your name. I'm sorry. Time flies when you sleep through the game. True. J Money. I would eat cauliflower, but I'm not a nerd. Okay, J Money. You just wait. You just wait, pal. I know you're young. You just wait. To be honest, got to check if there's a record for the fastest NHL game. Can somebody look that up? I would love to know. Hey, would SDPN ever watch or stream a PWHL game? Absolutely, Zoe. Absolutely. In fact, Chico, I will just call you Chico. Thank you. Chico Tazo, I'm assuming your name is. Chico Tazo? I will tell you that we have a very special guest coming in on Wednesday. PWHL. Special guest. That's all I'm going to say. I prefer to smoke my broccoli. Amen to that. Yeah, so amen to that. Cauliflower needs sauce to become edible. James? No. You can steam cauliflower, and it can be delicious. So Hayden is in my ear saying it's inedible. And Hayden's wrong. So Hayden also doesn't like Parmesan cheese. Yeah, sorry, Justin at the SDPN account. We have a special guest. It just got confirmed today, so I will send you that email. We've been working on this guest, by the way, for 2 months. I've been dying to get this person in. I can't wait for you to see them. I'm not going to tell you who it is. You know you're old when you're excited about eating vegetables. Dude, Silent Rob, agreed. And I'm so glad you were not silent on the subject. I don't care. To be honest with you, like my 20s were excellent. They were fun. They were awesome. Happy that they're over. And here comes Jack Hughes, and he misses the net. We got an empty net, by the way. I mean, what was Edmonton going to do? Not pull the net? Okay, we need Brott or Hughes to get a goal here. So Daddy's fantasy team continues chugging. Looks like they're actually going to change off. Timo Meier would be nice too. Special guest Don Cherry, everyone. No. Looks like Jeff Skinner is down on the ice and not feeling good about that block or that shot that he did not mean to have. He's playing, but he's hurt looking. Hughes is going to switch off. Jake Allen is more likely to score a goal than Edmonton at this rate. Man, it's tough when you lose the best scorer in the world, isn't it? And let's not forget, Evander Kane's not playing either. Here we go. Right up. Oh, my God. They almost got it. Icing called. The refs actually had to do something. Chico, nothing hits like a solid week of eating healthy, and your body just works properly again. You know what else, too? When you eat well, like non-processed stuff, your skin, I have very reactive skin. So if I eat a lot of sugar, my skin's like, bah! When I eat healthy, it's like clear, completely clear. It's weird. Like really weird. Verm says, Grady Dick is doing very well to start the season for the Raptors. Agreed. Didn't he have like 23 points last night? Like up there with RJ Barrett? Good for him. I'm excited. Guy's super marketable. He's a star in the waiting. Just got to make sure, he can actually play basketball and be a star. We do that in Toronto sometimes. We fall in love with people that aren't like great at their sport, but I think Grady is. Hayden says Brett Laurie. Yeah, we liked we liked his passion, but he just never quite turned into the guy. No goofing. Can we get a Cooking with Adam live stream on how to actually cook healthy foods? Well, listen, I am very early on in my let's drop the baby weight stage. I have a 5.5-year-old child. I did not give birth. Still baby weight. But I will say this. I'm not great at cooking, but you don't have to be. What you have to be is disciplined in your cooking and get used to eating the same stuff all the time. And here's what I'll tell you. Single ingredient foods. So if it's chicken and you put like hot sauce on or whatever, the chicken stays the chicken. When you have broccoli, it's just broccoli. When you have, that's sort of the way humans have eaten for a long time. And I'm not going to get all weird and Aaron Rodgers about it, but that's what a dietitian would tell you is you got to eat really clean, and do that sort of stuff. So yeah, if I get better at it, sure, I'll do a live stream cooking basic shit that's super boring, and we can have a chat and it'll be fun. It'll be more interesting than this game. I'll be honest with you. Hey, Luke says, I need to lose weight too. Gripper Nation gets healthy. Gripper Nation, do we do a Fit Fam challenge? And listen, it doesn't mean we have to go out and like run stairs. I'm just talking about like eating well. Do we do some self-care with Gripper Nation? I feel like we should. Healthy grippers. We need more of us. Who's your favorite name in the NHL? Mine is Capo Caco or Ivan Ivan. Ivan, noted Alan Walsh client. I loved the name Zarli Zalapski. I just thought his parents knew that they had a weird last name, so they gave him a weird first name too. Cam did talk about cooking streams. That would be a fun stream. Cam, I would love to know what Cam would make on a cooking stream. I love this game, but I'm a Devils fan, says Michael. Well, fair enough. But I don't think you're going to love the way that they played, because it wasn't great. They were just opportunistic. 3 goals on 16 shots. There's 20 seconds left in this game. Guys, what a game on a Monday night. This game felt like a Monday night. Like, holy crap. This is boring. Boring. Unbelievable game by Jake Allen. Deserved. Wow. Well, listen, we made it. We did it. Sheldon Keefe is laughing. He knows he got away with one. Man, that was lifeless and boring, and we did it together. And we're going to do it every Monday night. And by the way, most of the time, they're great games. Just not tonight. That was Monday night in a nutshell. No. Yeah. So good for Jake Allen. Good for Jake Allen. Adam, change the channel to football. It's tied to 24 with 20 seconds and 7 seconds left. Well, we don't have cable in here, so I'd have to switch streaming. But what I am going to do is I'm exhausted. And I'm going to go home. And I'm going to have a good old-fashioned sleep. And I'm excited about it. So listen, I'm going to let you guys go. But I love you. And I am so excited for next week. Maybe we'll do a surprise stream later this week. Friday is looking awfully appealing. It might be maybe a Detroit, Toronto. Maybe. I'll keep you up to date. But Gripper Nation, be on the lookout. Okay? Because I will be popping up with some extra streams here and there when it warrants it. And I really enjoy hanging out with you. And I would not be the same if you guys, and you know who you are, the regulars, you guys come in every show. If you're new, I would love for you to become a regular. Become a part of this every Monday, because it's just fun, right? To hang out, we get to talk. If the game sucks, whatever. We're friends. We're hanging out. We're talking about broccoli stems. Can't go wrong. So would love to see you guys back. I'll let you know. And until then, have a wonderful stream. Thank you so much to Robert Malloy, to Justin Fisher, to Hayden Matheson for helping produce it. And we will see you guys next Monday at the very least for the stream, but maybe before.